Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Dropped Frames. Co, what episode are we on?
Actually, we just passed 5,000, 5,004 today.
We did it. Wait. Well, we're 4 episodes ago we passed it. Do we celebrate now or did we celebrate 4 episodes ago?
Well, 4 episodes ago, I actually forgot to give the number, and I've forgotten every subsequent since.
Okay. All right. Well, congratulations. We're at 5K today. We're joined by... What?
Little known fact, by the way, for those that don't know, we actually don't air every episode. So me, Zeke, and JP actually, we do drop frames every day of the week.
Yes.
We only air them on Wednesdays.
Yep. That is true. That is accurate. All those other episodes are on my hard drive. I'll upload them eventually. One day. We'll see.
Sounds good.
It's a process. We're joined by special guests today. Sir,
That's right, brother.
What would you like to be called, sir? I don't want to misname you.
You can call me the Zulkster.
The Zulkster. Okay. All right.
That's right.
All right. And do you have a special message for the kids today here on the 4th of July?
That's right, I do. It's the 4th of July, brother. And I'll tell you, it's very important to remember America, it's birthday today. And all my little Zulkamaniacs out there, I want you to remember to say your prayers. Eat your vitamins. Play games. Don't play with other people's emotions. Don't play in the street. Play safely with fireworks. Get big. Get real big. That's right. And don't forget that all my Zulkamaniacs out there, you're going to want these 24-inch pythons, baby. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Nicely done. I don't know how you controlled the size of your camera like that, but that's some movie magic right there.
That was the ego. And you could see it swelling throughout the whole speech, just bigger and bigger.
Yeah,
it was beautiful.
Exactly.
That's right.
Zeke, how's it going? Are you tired of it yet? Yesterday you seemed pretty tired of it on Court of Swords. You seemed like you were done with it. How are you feeling today?
Here's the thing. When it just sucks that I had to do like 2 role-playing shows back to back because it's so I didn't want it to be such a distraction, like distracting away from the actual what was actually going on. Like all of last night or yesterday during Court of Swords, people were like, I was like trying to get into character and like be my like role play basically, and everybody's like, I want to take you seriously, but I can't.
Yeah, I saw a lot of that too. Yeah, it's fine. So, yeah. It's fine. Is your hair completely fried? Did you completely just destroy your hair? Is it gone after this?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, this is like doll's hair. It's so like.
It's so dead.
Just it's killed.
Is it long enough? If you're gonna shave your head, is it long enough to donate? I don't know what the length of hair for donations is, or maybe if it's dead, you don't want to donate it, right? Because it's been dyed.
That's one of the stipulations for places like Locks of Love.
Yeah,
and that kind of stuff is it has to be a certain length. Like I think it has to be like I'm not sure exactly. I think it's like 18 inches, but I'm not sure. But also, you can't be dyed.
Oh, okay.
Like it can't be dyed at all. It has to be like natural hair.
Gotcha.
I did a Locks of Love thing like a few years, like way back before I started streaming, and it was pretty much like a little bit past my shoulders, and they told me I needed another inch or 2.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, it has kind of long, and it also has to be like untreated. Dyed, I mean.
I see. Well, before we get into the games, it's the 4th of July here in America. Do you guys ever do you go and do fireworks? Do you go to a parade? Are you big celebrators, if that's a word, of the 4th, or are you just kind of today? Let's move on.
I wearing this outfit and looking like Hulk Hogan. It feels bad to say like I don't give a shit about the 4th of July at all.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah, it's understandable. It makes sense. Co, do you celebrate at all, or is it just another day for you?
Growing up, it was a pretty big deal. You know, I was in a neighborhood that the whole neighborhood would get together and they'd have like a little fireworks thing. And I also lived near a university called Duke, and they are known for having big like professional fireworks stuff on July 4th. So it used to be a pretty big thing, but it's one of those things where the older you get, the more like every year, just a little bit less of an impact.
Sure.
And then these days, I hate to say it, but these days, you know, I got a lot of people where July 4th has kind of lost its just general. July 4th used to be just like complete love for our country, super proud to be an American. Everyone could be on the same page. And this is like one of the first years where I've seen this around. It's become way more political than I think it should be.
Sure.
Like, I really feel like July 4th should be kind of like, if you live in America, if you're an American, we're all bros. Everything's cool. Screw politics. Like, this is the one day we can forget about all that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's just not that way.
It's the opposite now. It's the day where everyone has to remember that. Anyways, I don't want to get into that whole thing, but yes, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying.
Well, and I'll say this, like, after having worked on Twitch for however many years now, 6-7 years, and doing broadcasting around the world, literally, like people from around the world see us. I felt less and less like a citizen of America and more like a citizen of, and I know it sounds shitty, but to say like a citizen of the world, like
that makes sense.
Weird, like
that makes
only like 60% of my audience is from the US. The other 40% is from everywhere else.
Right.
You know, and I can look at my analytics and see where like people are tuning in from and shit like that. And it's become like my nation of origin has become less and less and less important to me.
Sure.
Not only does that make perfect sense, but I feel exactly the same way. And crazy enough, Twitch has really helped that perspective in the direction that it's gone. But pre-Twitch, my experience with people outside of this country, like, was I could count those encounters on nearly one hand outside of my MMOs. And now it's like every single day we're submerged in a global economy or global community, I should say.
Right.
And it's a completely different experience these days. It's pretty awesome.
No, that's a good point. That's a good point. I talked about this a little bit yesterday towards the end of the show, but this is my first year in St. Louis, and living in Texas my entire life, fireworks were a thing, but you can't launch fireworks within city limits due to like the fact that Texas is just a very, very dry and barren state. So like you could potentially just burn an entire forest down.
Please don't set us on fire.
Yeah, here in St. Louis, I guess they just don't give a fuck. I'm not. I guess it's a little bit more of a damp climate or something, because I think the law is, and I'm not 100. This is just from what people have been tweeting me. I think the law is for like 2 weeks around July the 4th, you can buy and set off fireworks anywhere in St. Louis County. And near me there is, well, it's not too close, but there's a 24-hour fireworks shop. It's open 24 hours, and pretty much since about 4 or 5 o'clock yesterday, there have been fireworks going off almost every 10 minutes just around me. So I'm kind of worried for when it gets dark tonight and what that's going to look like. Because it's kind of a thing. Yes, I did not mistake that. It is a 24-hour fireworks shop. And they have such great deals as buy one, get 4 free. So if you want some fireworks, you can get some.
But they're just like a setup shop, right? They're not like all year round.
No, yeah. It's seasonal, I guess would be the term.
It's definitely the same here in Montana. Like, there is no fireworks within the city limits.
Yeah.
But the city limits are easy to get out of, like, technically. So there's a place called the South Hills here in Billings where people, like, all kinds of families would go out there because it's just outside the actual city limits, and it's where like the motocross and hill climb tracks are at. And we go out there every year, and just like there would be like dozens of families out there with their kids, just like lighting off fireworks and having, complete disregard for like what they're actually doing. Right. You're giving the children explosives. like in a small form, sure, but
Yeah, man. 2 nights ago, I guess that there was like a neighborhood party or something because they they got all their trucks and blocked off a major like cul-de-sac in the neighborhood, and then everyone was sitting outside in like lawn chairs, and they did like a 45-minute celebratory fireworks session 2 evenings ago before it was even the 4th. So I guess people are just 4th of July crazy here, or they really just like fireworks. One of the two. It's just been a little bit startling every time you hear a literal giant firework go off. And I really worry for the dogs around here because they gotta fucking hate that shit. But anyways, that's a whole nother side story, I guess. I don't really celebrate it after that.
All types of fireworks where you are?
Maybe I don't know the law enough to say yes or no to that. What is all types of fireworks? Is there a difference between like a sparkler and like a black cat, or like how does that?
Oh yeah. Well, here in North Carolina, no projectile can leave the firework. So the only fireworks you can have it and see are like the showers and like the little things on the ground and little tanks and like all the stuff basically has to be on the ground. Nothing that goes up is allowed here.
No,
in fact, last time I checked, I don't even know if you can have like the what are those things that shoot little balls? Oh, that looks so wrong.
These are crazy. These go up in the air and fucking explode, and then those explode into other things. Yeah, from what I was told, Aaron was saying that you can buy like a fireworks display. And it's like $100 or $150, and it's like a kit that they've basically made where you light one fuse, and then it just kind of goes down the line of like a bunch of different fucking types of fireworks, and they're like ginormous. Like people go out in the open field and set them off because of how big they are. So yeah, I would guess it's all types, but I don't know the law enough. Like I was saying, it's definitely been loud out here.
It's very very much the same thing. Like you get these huge packs of, you can either get like what you said, or the just huge packs of like a variety pack of different fireworks, and they always have like stupid like USA puns on them. Like the package is called like America the Boomtiful, like that kind of shit. You get like my favorite was the Saturn missile battery. I don't know if anybody if that's a universal thing, but it's that square cube, and it would have like 25 like little tiny missile rockets in it.
Jesus.
And me and my brothers would take them and point them at each other and like go across the way.
Yeah, when I was little,
so stupid.
When I was I don't know how old I was. I was probably 7 or 8 because I remember it pretty vividly. We had and this is when I lived in Texas. We had a kid that lived in the neighborhood, and he had a what are those things that is it an M40? What are the like little fucking fireworks that were like blowing people's arms off back in was that an M40?
M80s, they go way up high.
Okay, yeah.
They're not. They can't blow people's arms off, but they can definitely like. If you hold it in your hand, it'll definitely fuck up your fingers.
That's what happened. He did that and decided he was going to hold it in his hand, and it blew up. And I got to witness it all. So ever since then, I've been a little bit of like, I'm not going to set that off, but I'll let you set it off, and maybe I'll watch it from afar.
He didn't lose a finger, did he?
There was definitely blood. I don't recall if it was a finger or not, but it was not a good thing. Watching that as a kid, because it was just like, poof. It was really
Those things
bad.
will mess you up, man.
Yeah.
They will mess you up.
Like back in the first days of the internet, like when the internet was young and everybody was on AOL. One of the first things, of course, I looked up was bad shit to do with like fireworks and that kind of shit. And me and my buddy completely obliterated his parents' mailbox.
Yep, mailboxes. That was the big thing. Yeah. Everyone would put those in mailboxes.
So terrible.
Yeah.
God, I can't even imagine having kids. Oh. I'm just thinking like I was terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyways, it's the 4th. That's what we're talking about. But we're gonna move on from that. So
Can't move on from the 4th, brother.
well, it's true, it's all around us.
Everything should be about America today.
Okay. Well, let's talk about some of the wars that America has fought. in Battlefield 5.
I was gonna say, JP,
Oh.
bad idea.
An actual sigh of relief.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, if you guys are wondering, this is my this jersey is from my brother. He's the picked again just last week as team captain
Oh, nice.
for USA Dodgeball.
Awesome. When
Yep.
does
Team
when does that
USA
event actually go
Dodgeball
down? When does it occur?
What's that?
Is that the World Championships of Dodgeball? What do you?
Mhm.
Okay, when does
It's
that
actually
occur?
the World Championship of Dodgeball, and people like teams from around the world actually come here, and it's pretty amazing.
Huh. You should live
Yeah.
stream some of that. Do some IRL streaming of that. I'd be interested in seeing how that works out.
The problem is, it's like a week before TwitchCon is the actual tournament.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, and if you want to see it, like, if you look up best dodgeball players in the world, he's number 2, like on the list. Like,
damn.
yeah.
Damn. Does I have to ask, do you throw wrenches at him to practice? How does he get practice?
Dude, my brother could whoop my fucking fat ass. Like, I'm not throwing shit at him.
Okay.
You know what I'm throwing at him? I'm throwing compliments. Hey, good job.
I got you. All right, makes
Throwing
sense.
hot fives.
Makes sense. Well, cool. We wish him luck. Let us know when that. You should get them to live stream that shit on Twitch. Fucking just IRL stream it or something. I'd watch that. I'd be interested. Let's talk Battlefield 5 though. We have a little bit of a differing opinion on this. So I've actually been anticipating this. I think since we spoke about it on Skype earlier this week. I quite like the game. I know you touched on it. Where are you at in Battlefield 5?
Okay, so where am I at with Battlefield 5? I started Battlefield 5, and I said, okay, here's the deal, guys. I'm going to play this game for like an hour or two, and then I'm probably going to switch over to Warframe, and I just want to take a look at it, see how it is. And I played it for about an hour, and for the first hour, you can feel it's a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
There are some pretty significant changes, but it still felt like 80% Battlefield 1 to me. Like I couldn't shake the feeling that it was a Battlefield 1 reskin, because there's a lot of things that are similar, and it feels and kind of plays the same way. So after the first hour, that's how I felt, and then I blinked a few times, and that was the end of the morning stream. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's cool. Well, that was Battlefield 1. And then the next day, when I was kind of sitting down and deciding what to play in the morning, I was like, you know what? I'll play Battlefield again. Maybe same deal, chat. I'm gonna play this for like an hour, and then I blinked and it was noon. It's got all of the quality of a Battlefield game. It's fun, just like all other Battlefield games. I don't feel like the stuff that I feel is really going to set apart is something that I saw, and that is the customization system and the subclass system, which is coming in, and like the new maps and stuff are always fun to play on when Battlefield games come out. But even then, towards the end of the second stream is when I started to kind of more notice the differences. Like the destructible environments are now pretty noticeably better.
They're pretty destructible.
What was that?
They're pretty destructible in that sense. I feel like it wasn't so much in the past.
In a more realistic way.
Yes.
So one thing in like Battlefield 1 that would happen is when you played Battlefield 1 enough, you could know pretty much exactly how a building was going to react and what parts were going to stay up, and you'd start kind of like it'd become kind of weirdly immersive breaking when you'd see a building explode, and it would always look the same when it was done. And that doesn't seem to be this way anymore. Like the way that they've done it is much more organic. And it was, especially towards the end of the second one, I was noticing that. The building mechanic is pretty cool. There were multiple times when the building mechanic, I couldn't really do it well, but especially the second stream, there were multiple times when I noticed enemy squads using the building mechanic, and it really, really helping.
It does.
Like you'd see a squad move into a point. One guy would like get a sniper rifle and stand up top, and then the other three would immediately rip out their builders and start putting up walls and start building fortifications. And all of a sudden, a machine gun would pop up. And then all of a sudden, you notice that machine gun that guy just built, you'll just see it getting kill after kill after kill after kill, and it's just kind of like, well, shit, like that's pretty meaningful. Like that's actually kind of a big deal for them. And then there's some really cool parts where there'll be like a hill directly into a point, and if a builder puts walls there, you just can't approach from that side anymore. Like, it's kind of meaningful at times.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really expecting that. When I first used the building system, it felt tacked on and kind of gimmicky.
It feels
But
a
then
little.
as I noticed people using it like effectively, it's kind of like, oh, if you know how to use this, this is kind of a big deal. And that's
Yeah,
cool.
the building is a little awkward. Like, for those that don't or didn't watch any of the alpha gameplay or anything, you basically press T and you walk up to kind of like a wireframe version of what you can build. And then your guy just goes, heh, heh, heh. And then it kind of like sets up the wall. So it's not necessary. A lot of people are obviously going to be like, oh, Fortnite, etc. And I guess that's what they're going after
Not
with
a
that.
free
But
build.
it's
That's
you're
the
not
big-
building towers to heaven. You're putting sandbags down and like
A
exactly
good way to
what's
think
that
about it,
on the screen.
it's and I started talking about this at the end of the second stream. It's not a building system. It's an upgrade system.
Yeah.
When you
yeah.
get to a location and there's all these upgrades you can use to help your team, and you basically upgrade the area with sandbags and you upgrade machine guns and stuff like that, you're never really going to have much choice. It's just like an order of what you're going to do it in.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kept getting that over and over. Like, oh, is this like Fortnite? Is this? No, it's
That was the
nothing
meme,
like
yeah.
Fortnite. It's not even related to the Fortnite.
Yeah.
It's something kind of unique to Battlefield. So now, from what I've also heard, the building system in the alpha is actually a lot more rudimentary than they want in the final. Like, apparently, there's going to be a lot more options in terms of what you can build.
Oh,
like
cool.
the same. You may be able to put different things, which isn't really what you can do now.
Right.
So that's another one. Like, I'm actually a little bit surprised with this because EA is notorious for releasing games that are basically vertical slices as alphas and betas. They're kind of notorious for putting out like near finished products.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the first times where I felt like I was playing a late alpha or early beta. Like, there were some pretty serious bugs. Like, squads didn't work properly in a Battlefield game. I hung up and froze multiple times by doing random things. My character got stuck a bunch of times. There was no customization system. There were barely any weapons. There were no subclasses. There was only one map. Like, it actually felt, for one of the first times, sort of like a beta.
Right.
So there's a lot of stuff coming on release, and I'm looking forward to checking all that stuff out for sure. But it's definitely a situation where I wasn't very impressed at the beginning. I was definitely not impressed before I started. Like, everything I'd seen before then, I just kind of shrugged it all off. I didn't really care. But the more I played it, the more I kind of realized, like, this is, it's not my favorite setting. I would have preferred 2143. This will be fun. Like, I'm gonna be spending a few weeks here at least.
Yeah. I think for me it was a little bit of the opposite. Like, I jumped in the first like spawn. I immediately was like, oh, this is. I think the word I kept saying, especially in the conversation with you, was like, it's slower. Like, it is a slower paced Battlefield, especially when you compare it to like Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1, I felt like I was dying. Like, my time to death was a lot quicker in Battlefield 1 because a fucking horse would come by or some bullshit and just like swipe me with a sword, or I don't know, some random shit would happen. But in this, I felt like it was a lot higher, which I think is kind of, I wouldn't say an issue. If you're good, you're never going to die. But one of the like quintessential Battlefield things when people play it is like, oh, I got killed from behind because a guy just popped up out of nowhere. That's kind of like a thing that always happens. And it didn't happen to me that much in this, which felt pretty cool. Maybe that's, a causation of the level design or the map or, whatever. There's probably multiple reasons that could be why. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what else is out there. Did you play only, because I'm seeing here, did you play only Grand Operations or did you play like the normal Conquest stuff?
I did both.
Okay.
I kind of bounced back and forth between them. Tell me something real quick before we continue. What are your thoughts on the new or lack of marking system?
I love it.
You love it?
Yes, I love because it's not just like find the red dot that someone has put up on your mat or your screen. Like, I think the reason that stuff existed, because the first thing that I did in the first couple of lives was literally see someone immediately press Q, then fire. And then I was like, well, that doesn't really work anymore.
What's that waypoint thing?
Yeah. And so I absolutely loved it because there was like I don't know if rewarding, I guess maybe rewarding. There was something satisfactory about like being zoomed in on something, scanning for someone running, seeing them go behind something, judging the shot to go past where they're probably going to show up, wait for them to show up and shoot. Because it used to be mark, watch the red dot, sit there, wait, shoot the red dot. Now it's like watch the person. It's a little bit different. It's kind of the same, but there's something more fun about headshotting someone like that in that way. And I also just love the fact that anything that you can do to tone down the amount of shit on your screen in a Battlefield game in terms of like UI and graphic elements and all that stuff, I'm totally about, because I think that's something that the engine of this game looks fantastic, but there is a lot of shit going on in the screen. And sometimes it's a little overwhelming, especially when they're like trying to find something or trying to kill something. And so the fact that they got away with, just spam fucking Q on everything, I'm pretty into. I'm pretty excited about that. It still does work though, right? It puts waypoints down. Is that?
Yeah. So what it does is there were three significant changes. The first is that flares are the only way to mark people. Okay. So you have to have either support kit with a flare gun or a sniper with a flare gun. And then I didn't get to confirm this, but I'm pretty sure when you fire a flare and an enemy does get marked, they aren't marked anymore if they go behind something. So even if they have the red thing on their head, if they're out of your view, then they're not marked. And then also on top of that, now Q puts a waypoint down, which I'm pretty sure only your squad can see.
Okay.
Until the next one. But I mean, the thing that drives me kind of crazy is like there were multiple times when I was playing in a squad and trying to coordinate where they would be like the fact that you can't kind of easily pick a person for your squad to kind of look at or focus on, because the waypoint system was a little bit weird, and then which was I wasn't super happy about. And then, dude, oh my god, planes! Like it's
Did you have issues with them?
Like, oh my god, I tried multiple times in a plane to like be effective at all versus ground targets. There's no marking. Like you can't see anything. It's ants. You're literally shooting at ants. Like there was this one guy that was an amazingly good pilot, and for 15 minutes I was in that little bottom machine gun in that plane, and he kept going over points that were full of enemies. Yeah. And I would see someone like as I was floating away sometimes. My lord, dude, it was crazy. Now, of course, people are like, oh, it's realistic. Buddy, I'm playing video games. Like, I want realistic. I don't want realistic. I want video games.
Sure.
So, I will say, I wish there was some kind of like marking mechanic in squad at least. So, what would be cool is like maybe there was a spotting class that was like could spot for airplanes or something like that. I feel there's a distinct there. And then also another thing about the marking system, vehicles are now permanently marked.
I did see that.
Always marked. Vehicles always have an icon over their head, regardless of anything. It's very like that's a weird decision. I guess the premise is that you can hear them or something, or they're too loud. But I don't know.
From my experience playing almost every Battlefield game there's been, vehicles have always kind of been like, all right, I'm gonna get a couple kills, no matter what happens. I'll end up killing someone in this tank. And I kind of like the idea that they are counterbalancing that with like, people will know that you're always in a tank, right? And the other thing, to go back, which I'm fine with, I think I'm okay with that. I was very rarely in a vehicle in this game. When I was in a plane, I had the same exact. I was in the back gunner, I guess, of the plane. And, it's already hard to see because anytime the pilot moves, your view shifts. So you can't get like a stagnant view on anything. I immediately just got out because I was like, there's no fucking way I'm going to ever kill someone on the ground in this thing. Because like you said, it was impossible to see, which again, I'm fine with. Planes have always been unbelievably fucking strong in Battlefield.
And then another great part is that planes can't be marked for either side. So if you're in a plane, every other plane is unmarked. And every single time I'd use a plane, or really anytime there's planes, just look up in the air. You'll see friendlies dogfighting. It always happens. You'll see a friendly plane following another friendly plane, and the back machine gunner's trying to kill him, and that guy in the back is shooting at the front guy. And just for like 10 minutes, they'll just be flying around shooting at each other because they don't know.
Yeah,
they don't know.
Yeah,
and it gets to be pretty funny.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sorry, son. They got us.
Yeah, pretty much. I think when friendly fire gets turned on, obviously it's going to be a little bit different of a game, as always. There's been multiple times where I've seen someone coming up and thought that they were an enemy and shot them, and then the teammate just looked at me like, the fuck are you doing? And then they carried about on their way. So there's probably going to be a lot of team kills whenever that gets turned
And then,
on.
of course, chat knows exactly who the planes are.
Right.
So when you're sitting there trying to remember what side you picked and like, is that a friendly or an enemy? Chat's just sitting like, does this guy even know what he's doing?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
it's clearly a plane on his side. Like, did you see the side? And I was like, dude, I don't even know what side I am. Like, what did I pick? What am I doing?
Yeah.
And then real quick before we move on, I will say another very interesting change is they have significantly reduced ammo.
Yes,
like,
which
if
I
you
love.
Try to go out solo and you don't
love that.
plan, dude, it is a completely different experience. Like, you've got maybe 3 magazines on you. And it's the kind of thing where if you just try to run off and play hero and get your own kills, you will run out of ammo.
Yes.
Every single time.
I love
or
it.
if you play in a squad, it becomes like this really cohesive, everyone's sticking together because they need ammo and kind of moving as a unit. And hey, where are we going? You know, give me an order. I need to know where the ammo is. And that's a cool change, man. I was kind of not feeling it so much at first. And then the more I played and realized that it's like really encouraging squad play,
Yeah.
it became a lot more interesting.
It definitely
For sure.
becomes important to know where the ammo. There's different like ammo depots, I guess is what you call them, around the map that you can run up and get like a full thing of ammo. So it becomes important to know the map in that regard, as well as being like, hey, give me some ammo, and it makes support stronger. But I absolutely love that change. Even as someone who would go up and snipe, and be stuck with 20 bullets from a fresh spawn for maybe 5 or 6 kills, depending on how effective I was with that. I still enjoyed the fact that it was like, all right, I got 20 bullets. I have to fucking move now. I can't just sit here and camp.
Yep.
I was pretty interested in that. But yeah, I think across the board, like, I'm super excited for the release. I want to see more maps, which is obviously always a thing with
Yes.
Battlefield. But this map was very interesting. I thought it was really cool. I played Grand Conquest. So there's 2 different modes. There's Grand Conquest and Conquest. Conquest is just your normal Battlefield thing. There's multiple points. You can cap them at any time. Grand Conquest, they're like trying to work in, I guess, like a narrative type deal with like different days across what's meant to be like a longer war, I guess is how I would phrase that. So you start off and you're like jumping from planes, and if you end up taking the next 2 spots, then day 2 starts, and then you have 2 new spawning points on the actual map instead of jumping from planes, et cetera, et cetera. And there's like a give and take there between the 2 teams, which I didn't necessarily enjoy the first part. If you're defending the beach, it's great. If you're jumping from the planes, I got sniped about 4 or 5 times while parachuting down.
Yeah,
That was
I
not
was kind of
fun.
surprised they let you get shot while you're parachuting.
Yeah, I'm
That's
not
pretty-
into that. It was pretty shitty to just be like, well, I'm gonna die, and
Yeah.
there's nothing I can do at all. So,
And then when you land and you spin around and look up, and it's just like everyone on the enemy team is shooting. Like, it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
fish in a barrel as these people are coming down, just streaks all over the sky.
yeah, it
It
was
was intense.
pretty crazy. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I was surprised to see them when word started going around that this was going to be happening this past weekend. I was like, really? This comes out in November. Like, this seems pretty early to show this stuff to a bunch of people, and they did. And then I think it's interesting to note, maybe I'm wrong about this. I don't know the actual numbers, but I feel like this might have been the biggest one-day spend I've ever seen on Twitch when it comes to sponsored streams. On Monday, Ninja, Shroud, Dr. Disrespect, Tim, Myth, Lyric, and like probably 5 to 10 other streamers plus a bunch of fucking YouTubers all did multiple hour sponsored streams. And it might have, like, that's not cheap. I really wonder if that was like hey, we could run a commercial on TV for a week during some sports ball, or we could pay a bunch of Twitch streamers to stream the game. Let's try that.
That was
this
probably
time.
like, I could easily see that entire thing being over $500,000 for them.
Yeah, and
The amount of
that's
time they paid
generous.
for it.
I think you could maybe even say more. Yeah.
Absolutely. With the size of the casters, absolutely. But something else that needs to be mentioned when you're talking about that. Not only surprising, incredibly surprisingly low numbers overall.
It had, when I saw like 200 I think it was over 200 as a game, but I think individual
You look
streams
at
were down.
the average viewers, the average viewership comparable to what those streams normally get, the follows per stream, it was really, really low.
Yeah.
Like really low. I was kind of baffled. Like it was almost equivalent to current Battlefield 1 numbers. Let me just put it that way. And this is supposed to be for like the next big Battlefield game. So
yeah, there's
yeah.
a lot of reasons I think for that too. I think you look at where EA is right now in the gaming sphere and kind of the talk or the chat bubble around EA. It's not necessarily a good one. I would say it's actually a pretty bad chat bubble. There's a lot of negative shit out there about EA, rightfully so. Like the Star Wars Battlefront shit was a monumental fuck up, and a day that will not be soon forgotten in the gaming world. So I think they have a lot of ground to kind of get back in that regard.
Also, I mean, let's be blunt. Like I'm wavering between stupid and ballsy in their decision of releasing back-to-back historical Battlefield shooters. Like on one side, it's like that's low-hanging fruit. You can just farm the fans you had from BF1 because they enjoyed it. But on the other hand, it's like, dude, you just released a historical Battlefield. Like there are going to be people that are tapped out that are waiting for them. Like I'm basically one of them. Like I said,
Sure.
I had fun playing this game and everything, but there's no question I would have wanted a futuristic or a modern Battlefield. Like the fact that it's back to back, like just like I said, I'm pretty excited for this game. I can't really see myself playing it more than a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And 2142, dude, I played that game for years. So
someone in chat brings up the point though that they released like 3 modern Battlefields in a row with 2, 3, and 4. So
they did,
and 2142 somewhere in there. I guess
true.
before.
Yeah,
that.
and then the big thing is though they made some pretty, like a couple of them had some pretty significant mechanic changes, and there was a lot of differences between them also. But yeah, that is a good point. That is a good point.
Yeah, I mean, I think for your sake, it's definitely not what you wanted, but I would think the majority of like you said, the people that played Battlefield 1 generally like that time. And I think, I don't want to get into the actual controversy, but I think the majority of people that were upset about the types of people you could play in this game, etc., enjoy historical type Battlefields, right? Like that's a pretty big group of Battlefield fans. So,
and it's still a Battlefield game. It's another quality Battlefield game. It's a Frostbite's a solid engine. All the pieces work. The gunplay feels great. The soundscape is amazing. Like it's another decent Battlefield game.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like the Battlefield game, but it's another good entry.
Yeah, I think I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it.
No, it feels like every time like one of these big franchises that are kind of known for doing like historical or like trying to be accurate stuff, and then they branch out and try to do something futuristic. It feels like like back when New Coke came out, they're like, "Hey, New Coke,"
Yeah,
and then they're like, "This fucking shit sucks." They're like, "How about Coke Classic? It's back," and they're like, "Yay!"
yeah, you're not wrong. It's hard to nail down that futuristic stuff, right? Because a lot of that is like they try to take in future tech and they try to figure out stuff that might be coming down the pipeline in actual war, but a lot of times you're just kind of throwing stuff at a wall and see what sticks and see if it's fun to play, etc.
Man, they could seriously just put 2142 on the Frostbite engine, and I would buy 10 copies.
Yeah, I mean, that was a lot of fun.
They don't even need to change anything from 2142. Just give me destructible environments and the Frostbite engine and all this cool shit. Like, I don't need any more. Just bring it back.
I mean, look, to be honest, I think for my interest, like the Frostbite engine is probably my favorite engine out there to just play a game on, because it's going to run amazing and it's going to look fucking incredible. And I don't really care what I'm playing on it because I know both those things to be true, and I enjoy games when both those things are true. So fucking put anything on this engine and I'll be there. Put
if the games are the toys and Frostbite is the sandbox, like I agree with you completely. Like I will play in that sandbox all day, and just different games are different toys in that sandbox. It's a fantastic engine, one of the better ones.
Yeah, for sure. I think we didn't really talk about it, but the last thing I'll say on Battlefield, for someone that's played, like I said, almost every Battlefield, the gunplay and the netcode and the idea of like, if I put my cursor on a dude, and shoot that dude, I know that that bullet's going to connect. And if it doesn't, I know it was my fuck up and not the game. It felt really good in this game compared to previous Battlefields. Like, I think they finally have like nailed the net code and the bullet accuracy and all that shit. Like, sniping felt incredible. I was able to very quickly like pick up, all right, that guy's, you know, across the map. Let me just aim up a tiny bit. Oh, and that connected right off the bat. And if I missed, I was like, all right, I'll aim a little bit lower, and then it would connect. I think there was only like 1 or 2 times where I was just like, fucking that should have hit him, what the fuck? Which is usually a thing that I'm saying constantly in Battlefield games. So that felt really good for sure. And I think me and Co are both eager to play more. So we'll hopefully check it out in November, unless they do another beta for it. We'll see.
Oh, and then by then we'll also be talking about the Battlefield BR, all that stuff.
Right?
Be...
Did they said that's going to come out next year or something, right? Like,
did they?
I don't know.
It's not going to be an on-release.
Oh, it's October, not November. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be there for release.
Oh,
but yeah, I'm curious to see how that goes. The time to death is very quick in Battlefields, but I guess it's very quick in PUBG, so I don't know. It'll be interesting to see the BR stuff in that game, without a doubt.
That will be the first BR in Frostbite, right?
Yeah. They don't really license out Frostbite to anyone outside of DICE/EA. So, yeah.
That alone will make me try it. At least that'll be the first BR game I've played in a long time.
Yeah. Zeke, I know you did Indie Sunday, which we're going to talk about. But have you been anything you played in the past week besides Warframe? What else you been playing?
Grim Fandango.
Oh God. Is this your first time touching Grim Fandango? Like never played it? Okay.
It absolutely is. The thing, like, people ask me a lot, like, how many times have you played this game when I'm playing like a classic adventure game?
Sure.
Like when I pick up something like Monkey Island or, you know, name an adventure game or point and click or whatever. Like, oh, you used to play this back in the day. It's like, no, I missed all these like classic games. And Grim Fandango has been on the list for a long time. People absolutely love this game. Some people have said like it's one of their favorite games ever, and I can see why. It's a really, really cool point and click puzzle game. You're basically a travel agent for the dead.
Right.
You try and sell these people on the best deals you can possibly get them to the afterlife, kind of a thing. And the dialogue is awesome. The environments are great. The music, I think they remastered all of the music, and the music is one of the best parts. It is fucking fantastic anywhere you go. Like the guitars and the trumpets and depending on where you are, like there's like a beatnik, like coffee, like drinking establishment that has really cool like beatniky music, and then you go to his place and you see like it has like Spanish guitars and muted trumpets and stuff like that. Music is fucking amazing. The dialogue and the voice acting is some of the best of any adventure game. It's so good. It's spot on. There's a lot of humor. It's a point and click. I will say that it does very much get frustrating at times.
I hear that a lot about especially I guess the remake or whatever. People there seem to be multiple points where people are like, yeah, did you do that puzzle? Man, that thing was a fucking gigantic pain in the ass. Are you experiencing that a lot?
Yes. Oh, it's definitely like I get to a point where I have to stop looking at chat or I make sure it's an emote only because it's a puzzle. It's a point and click game. So you're gonna get hung up on shit. You're gonna get stuck. And a lot of it sometimes has to do with what they call in point and click games, moon logic. And moon logic means like you take this balloon animal of a dingo and you open a can with it. Why? Because that kind of stuff. There's not a ton. It's not as bad in this game. Like there was a couple of moments where I was like, fuck you. But for the most part, it's pretty reasonable how they do stuff and get around stuff. Pixel hunting hasn't been like prevalent, so it's not like you're missing something and you have to like look over all the screen to see like every screen you go by to see, make sure you didn't miss anything. It's not too bad. There's a couple of moments where I was like, fuck, I got lucky that I moused over that because it's this little thing in the fucking corner that kind of blends into the background. But there are some moments where the fucking signpost, if you guys have ever played this game before, the signpost with the many different paths, fuck that puzzle. That was the dumbest fucking puzzle in the entire fucking world. I hated it. And I got lucky. I was getting so pissed off and frustrated because I was like, I have no idea what they want from me. And then I just like went bloop and I threw off my headphones and I walked away because I was just like, fuck you. But if you haven't played it, Grim Fandango is fantastic. It's a lot of fun. There are some annoying things though. I will say you start off by loving this character named Glottis, who's just this big demony beastie, like huggable, lovable guy. He's this big, huge. What?
Is this spoilers?
No. He's accompanies you from like the get-go. And he just gets super annoying because if you leave him, if you go to a scene where he's idle and he's not like with you following you around or driving you around or whatever.
Yeah.
Man, he makes noises every scene he's in. And it's fucking terrible. Yeah. It gets so annoying. You to the point where you have to find stuff in places that he's in, and he's making like car noises. He's sitting in the car waiting for you to get back in, and you're in the scene with him, and he's like, boom, 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 and he's making car noises with the car being off.
Oh, Zeke, on a scale of 0 to get up on the Hydra's back, where would you put this?
As far as difficulty?
No, in terms of annoyingness. I need to know how annoying this person
is. Here it is. Look, this is one of those parts.
Oh, where you just saved it?
You see him up there. That's him. That's Glottis upstairs.
Oh, okay.
And we're at a gambling parlor.
Yeah.
And he is betting on cat races. And he is just shouting the entire time.
Okay. All right.
The entire time. And while you're talking, while you're doing dialogue, he's shouting in the background. Going like, come on, kitty. Go, kitty. Papa needs a new pair of shoes. And he's just shouting. And it's terrible. But that aside, everything else about it is fantastic.
All right. What platform did you play this on? PC, PS4? Because the re-release came out on, I think, on a lot of different platforms. What were you playing it on?
I played it on Steam. It was on PC. And when I got it, I don't know if it's still on. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, dude. Yeah. Oh, shit. And it ends today. So it is $3 right now. It is on sale 80% off. Buy it. It's $3. It's worth $15 they're asking, but it's $3 right now on Steam.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good price.
Yeah.
I am gonna buy it. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a pretty good price. I guess I'll talk Kingdom Hearts real quick before we jump into Indie Sunday. Because I don't have too much to say.
I would like a recap of the story so far.
You want a full recap of everything it's happened?
I want you to do this. I really want you to do this so you can have a clip of it that you can just point people to.
You can't put it in a minute clip. It doesn't exist. The only person that could summarize it into a minute would be someone that's speaking unbelievably fast. So I don't know if I could do it in a clip, but
you need John Machida, the Micro Machines guy?
I do, yeah. I need the Micro Machines guy. Co, are you ever going to... I think if I jump into this, it's going to be pretty spoilery, so I don't know if I want to do a full story recap if Co ever checks it out.
I can mute because I'm doing a charity stream this Saturday, and when people donate money, they can choose yes or no to me playing Kingdom Hearts.
Uh-oh.
So I don't know.
Well, then I don't need to do a full story recap. But I guess I will say, I finished... Chain of Memories, which is
you do.
The second game. I need to do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want you to do it.
Co, please mute.
I will mute up. Muting up.
Give me a thumbs up when you're good.
Yeah, we'll give you that one. We're good.
Okay. Kingdom Hearts. I've played 1 and Chain of Memories. Now, Chain of Memories is the direct sequel to Kingdom Hearts 1. Kingdom Hearts 2 is not the direct sequel. So story-wise, it's imperative that one plays Chain of Memories before you play Kingdom Hearts 2. Now, Kingdom Hearts 1. Let me think about this for a second. Okay. You start on Destiny Islands. You, a.k.a. Sora, the main character of the game-ish, Riku and Kairi, childhood friends, are on an island and they want to get off because they've been stuck on this island their entire life. Waka, Tidus from Final Fantasy X, and Selphie from Final Fantasy VIII are there for no fucking reason. They're part of this island. You don't really know why. They're there and you fight them and do some stuff with them. They're not really too imperative to the story that I know of yet. But basically you build this raft to get off the island. And then a bunch of Heartless come and attack. Now, Heartless are basically
like the Queen of Hearts.
What are the Queen of Hearts? No, she's in there, but she's not here yet. You don't go to Alice in Wonderland yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Heartless
Sorry
are kind of the main bad guy in terms of like the minions of the game.
Okay.
So they attack the island, and you go to the key. The center of the world, and the Heartless end up destroying that world, and you can't save it. So I guess Tidus and Waka and Selphie die. I don't really know, but the world ends. Kairi is disappeared / taken, I think, by the Heartless. Riku is like enveloped in the Heartless, and Sora shows up in Traverse Town. Traverse Town is not related to any IP from Disney. It is a Square town. That is created by Square Enix, Squaresoft, I think at the time, perhaps. I don't know if they purchased them yet. Anyways, that's not the story. So, Zeke, this is going to take a while, man. The crux of the game, you go to Traverse Town. Sid's there from Final Fantasy.
It's so good, though.
Sid's there from Final Fantasy. Who else is there? Leon, a.k.a. Squall, a.k.a. David Boreanaz. He voices him. If you've ever seen Angel or Bones.
Oh, Angel, yeah.
Yeah, he's the voice of that guy. Who else is there? Aerith, as they call her in this game. Not Eris, it's Aerith. Shows up. There's a bunch of like small side characters. Anyways, you're basically told by Donald and Goofy, who run into you there, that the king, a.k.a. Mickey Mouse, has sent them on a mission to find the wielder of the Keyblade, who is Sora, in fact, and to kind of follow him wherever he goes. And then you start going to a bunch of different worlds to help save them from the Heartless. You go to Alice in Wonderland. Where's the other place? There's 2 places. Agrabah's later.
Hades?
Huh? Oh, yeah. Alice in
jungle?
Wonderland's the Hercules Coliseum, the Olympic Coliseum or whatever. And then you go to Tarzan. And all these people, you help them fight the Heartless, etc. And then you start to see a bunch of the bad guys. There's Maleficent, who's kind of the big bad at one point in the game. There's Oogie Boogie. There's Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas. There's Captain Hook. There's Jafar from Aladdin. Pretty much any like Disney big bad in any of the worlds I've listed is there. And
do you fight all of them?
Eventually, yeah. They're kind of the bosses of each of the world. Each of their own respective. Yes, you do go to Atlantica and fight Ursula, and they do play Under the Sea the entire time you're walking around, which is just great. It's just one of the best parts of the game. The world, not so much, because swimming in games is just awful, especially of that era. But the main storyline of Kingdom Heart 1 is very simple. The bad guys are trying to get the princesses, because the princesses of the Disney world are of pure hearts, and you need 7 pure hearts to open up Kingdom Hearts, which is the center of all worlds. And that's what a guy named Ansem wants to destroy. So at the end of Kingdom Hearts 1, you fight Ansem, who's trying to destroy Kingdom Hearts, and you end up doing it, and he does not die. And that's kind of Kingdom Hearts 1. We skipped ahead a bunch of shit, because I don't want to be right there. So that's the end of Kingdom Hearts 1. At the very, very end, there's a cutscene that happens, and it shows Pluto, Goofy's dog, which is weird because Goofy's also a dog, so that's kind of a weird relationship to begin with. But Pluto's there, and he's got a letter from Mickey, and you chase him, and then you end up in a thing called Castle Oblivion, which is the start of Chain of Memories. Now, Kingdom Hearts 1 is like an arcade RPG action type deal. Chain of Memories is a card game. I need to show what this looks like because it's a lot to take in at once, which is the most recent thing that I've played.
So good.
Let me just pull up the VOD here.
It is so unbelievable to me how much you're enjoying this.
Oh,
like
Zeke,
I would have never pegged you as someone who would like this.
I think this is the end. Okay, let me just fast forward back here. So this is a card game, but it's still Kingdom Hearts. It came out on the Game Boy Advance originally. So this is a GBA game that was then remade on the PS2, which was then remade on the PS4. So it's an up-res version of the PS2 game. I don't want to show any of the actual cutscenes in here because the way this game works is you go to every world that you visited in Kingdom Hearts 1. Mm-hmm. And the crux of the story is, or the baseline of the story is, Sora enters Castle Oblivion because someone from the organization, this is the first time that the organization shows up in this game. They're just some people that wear hoods and you can't really see their face until their face is revealed, which is kind of usually a big moment. They're there because in Castle Oblivion, for some reason, Sora's memories are, he's losing them. And so are Mickey and Donald. They don't know why. It's later revealed this is a person by the name of Naminé, who's taking their memories and making them forget about Kairi, which you remember is the girl from the first island that Sora is trying to find, a friend of Riku, and making her seem to be Naminé. You start forgetting Kairi, forgetting a lot of names throughout the game. It's revealed later that Naminé is basically replacing these memories because Maluja, a member of the organization, wants the Keyblade for himself and wants Sora to forget or die / something. I'm not really sure the line there. But you work your way through the story. You work your way through every single thing. It's kind of interesting because it starts off and it seems like a direct copy of the first game story-wise, but then Sora starts to have like these weird memories that didn't actually happen. And then you end up...
Is that where like the chain of memories comes in or whatever?
Yes, they say the word chain of memories multiple times. There's also a clone of Riku, a puppet of Riku throughout the game, which is real dumb. There's multiple moments where there's two Rikus staring at each other, and you're just kind of like, oh, okay, I guess this is the thing that's happening. And they don't really explain it other than he's a puppet created by one of the members of the organization by the name of Vexen. He dies in the game, both the puppet and Vexen. And then you beat the game. You defeat Maluja. I'm jumping around it's very hard to get a cohesive storyline for me because it's kind of all over the place. But it's imperative to play this because if you go Kingdom Hearts to Kingdom Hearts 2, you have zero idea who Naminé is. They do not say anything about who they are or who she is in Kingdom Hearts 2, I think. It's been a while since I played it. It's been almost 20 years since I played it. They don't say anything about the origins of organization. They don't mention any of the people that you've killed from the organization, as far as I know. It's very much like if you skip this game, it's fucking, you're just lost. Like, I don't understand how I explained anything or understood anything in Kingdom Hearts 2 when I played it. I mentioned this was a card game.
So how many have you played?
2.
You played 2 games?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see if I could show a boss fight here real quick. So this is a guy. So this card game is interesting. I actually like the combat more than Kingdom Hearts 1. The way the card game works is on the left-hand side, you have my deck, and on the right-hand side, you have the enemy's deck. Now, the base of the card game is you're trying to play a bigger number than what the enemy is playing. But if they play if they play any card and you play a 0, it trumps them. But if you play the 0 first and they play any card, it trumps you no matter what. So zeros are kind of like a fail-safe. You can combine different cards that do different abilities. They're called sleights in the game. That's kind of a whole nother thing. And it gets to the point where you're literally having to do like mental math while moving around the fucking map or the little like arena, and also dodging attacks to make sure that they don't get like their big bad fucking attacks. You can like die in a lot of these things in one go, and it's just a nightmare sometimes, but it's also really relaxing sometimes. It was an interesting gameplay. This is a level up. I can either raise my CP boost, which allows how many cards I can play per fight. I'm showing the story here. Or I can raise my HP, or I can raise something else. This is actually one of the last islands to go to in the game. It's old Destiny Island that I brought up at the very beginning. So then you beat the game as Sora, and then you play Riku's side, which is happening at the same time as Sora, and it goes eventually past. At the very end, Sora's given the memory to given the choice to either forget everything that he knew prior to entering Castle Oblivion, so he'd forget all his friends, or forget Naminé and everything that happened in Castle Oblivion. He opts for the first part, and then she puts him in a capsule to start remembering his memories with Donald and Goofy. That's kind of a lead into Kingdom Hearts 2. She gives the same thing to Riku at the end of the game, and with the decisions being, she can either encapsulate his heart so that darkness can't claim it, or just let him go free, and he opts to go free because he's going to be able to control it, because he's basically the great Jedi of Kingdom Hearts. I'm not joking around. They don't say Jedi. They technically could now because Disney owns that, but and that's the end of that. So he starts to walk the gray path. I think that the twilight between darkness and light, I think, is what they say in the game. They're real fucking stupid when it comes to that shit. And that, in a really poorly explained way, is Kingdom Hearts 1 and Chain of Memories. Sunday, I'll be watching the 3-hour video of 358 divided by 2, which is a game, and then starting Kingdom Hearts 2. So if you want to join me in some more Kingdom Hearts bullshit, Sunday's the day. I can't wait.
That was so good. Thank you, JP.
I do think at the very end of all this,
I barely followed any of that.
Yeah, I was all over the place.
But is it hard to follow in the game as well?
No, not necessarily. Like that's the thing is, like, every cutscene that you show has every cutscene that they show you has like very important story elements in it. So a lot of stuff I like passed over, but there's been one or two times where I just kind of been like, huh? Like what? You want to, Jack, can we get an explanation, please? But I think once it's all said and done, I might make like an hour-long video explaining the story of all that stuff. That'll be pretty good.
I'd watch that.
I think we're good. I think he's playing Warframe. There we go. Okay. It would take a while,
dude,
yeah.
He's farming frames right now.
He's probably in Warframes, yeah. You want to just start? Let's talk Indie Sunday, because I know you've been doing that.
Yeah, there was one there. We actually did the most recent one last week, and we skipped over one that we can just go over really quick.
Okay.
It should be the one starting with breakdancing kids. I gave you a link, I think, right?
Yep. Here it is.
Okay. Indie Sunday, this was from 2 weeks ago. This one is called Floor Kids.
Oh, this is called Floor Kids, not Breakdancing Kids?
No, it's called Floor Kids.
Okay.
And this is, oh shit, this is from a while ago because I was still doing the St. Jude thing. Holy shit. But Floor Kids is a game where you play as break-dancing kids, and it's a rhythm-based game. It's kind of it's not like you have to press things at a certain time like Dance Dance Revolution or Guitar Hero or anything like that. You don't have to press exact buttons. It's more like freestyle, like a Tony Hawk kind of a thing, where you try and do as many like dance tricks as you can, and the audience will like shout out to you like, we want to see like more flair. So you do like a flare move, and you get bonus points when the audience asks for it and stuff.
Let me see.
And you go through it. Yeah, you need some more.
There we go.
There we go. just like this. And I mean, the animation is cool. It's like this hand-drawn, penciled-in animation where you try and like all like buttons and directions, do different moves, and then you get the breakdown where you have to do this is a rhythm part where you have to like nail all of the question blocks X, like you hit the button and you go, and then you just press it as fast as you can to get all the question blocks and stuff like that.
Is the music good? This seems like a game where the music has to be good.
Music is fucking good.
Okay,
it's
good.
Really, really good. It's fucking fantastic.
Kind
It's a lot of break beats. It's just really like I don't know, like if you know like break beats, that's kind of what it sounds like. Really driving like under beat so you can like the timing. It's very 4 on the floor, like just and you're breakdancing, trying to do all that stuff. Everybody's nodding and you do all these different steps and you get combos. Like the more things you can chain in a combo, the better. You figure out like every level is a different location within this city, and you unlock different characters who have different moves and stuff like that. It's a really, really fun game. It's easy to play, easy to pick up, and it's music is fantastic, and it's one of those all ages games. And the story, it's a very light story, but the dialogue that you or the text that you see is very like beat. It's like beat poetry. It's like
okay. Spoken rhyme or whatever.
Kind of, yeah. It's not spoken. It's in text, but it's like there's a lot of play on words, talking about how like dancing can bring us all together, and sometimes you gotta like get down and dirty with the funky beat, stuff like that. It's really cool.
All right.
It's called Floor Kids, which is a weird name.
Yeah. That is
it is kind of a weird, spoken word. There you go. It's like spoken word for sure.
When you said breakdancing kids, I was like, all right. I mean, that's a pretty apt name, but Floor Kids, I don't know. How much is Floor Kids?
Floor Kids is $20.
Okay. Right.
And
that's kind of steep, is it not?
It is kind of steep, but when you think like I think they did original music for this because they're selling the soundtrack along with it. I think that's probably a big reason why it's as pricey as it is, because they had to pay musicians to make like original music,
licensing stuff. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, next game is. Oh, I've heard about this game.
This game is fucking cool. If you like Machinarium, you'll love this game. This game is called Far: Lone Sales. So it's Far Lone Sales. This game is really, really, really fun and really cool. It's I play with controller. Basically, you have this steam engine machine that you're trying to just keep moving as far as you can. And as you go along, you collect different things. Like right at this part, this is actually a great part. At this part, you collect, because you were just moving on Steam before, and now we have a sale.
Oh.
So when the steam runs out or the wind is blowing, and you can see it by the flag on the top of your thing, when the wind is blowing, you go up and you put up your sail, and the sail will take you without any steam power. And along the way, you get all kinds of different like attachments for your little vehicle, and cool. It's really super cool. It's really a Zen kind of a game. It's nothing too, no sights and sounds that are too intrusive or obnoxious. It's just, you're traveling along and you're trying to keep your little train going. And then like, if your steam engine gets too hot, you got to like vent the steam. You got to keep the engines going by grabbing these little blocks of energy, or actually it's kind of like a Mr. Fusion. Like you can grab almost anything and you hit that red button at the back and if your thing gets on fire, you have to grab the fire hose and put out the fire and shit like that.
Nice.
Why does it catch on fire?
From the engine, just getting too hot or something.
Yeah, there's different reasons why it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen a ton, but it happens enough where you're like, oh shit's on fire. I better go put that stuff out. And there you go. And then you hit that little elevator button, and the elevator puts it up, and then the steam. You see the water level in that bubble rises up, so you see how much water you have. And there's that steam level. Once that gets overheat, you got to hit the button to release it. And this is all like you're doing this all with the controller live, trying to keep this thing going. And the thing is, if you run out of steam or like there's no wind, like there's hooks on the front and hooks on the back for you to drag the thing if you need to drag it.
There's
you can get a vacuum attachment where like it hangs off the back. So if you see like energy, you don't have to stop the vehicle. You can actually hit a button and the vacuum will like suck up like the energy block to keep the, keep the engine running.
There's definitely,
but it's very much fun.
Yeah, there's definitely something like, I guess serene is the word I'll use about the background of the game. Like I get lost more in that than I am the actual, whatever the little guy is inside your ship. Like why the fuck is this thing here?
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying like the background's super interesting. Is I guess what I'm getting at. What were we gonna say, Co?
So Zeke, how long did you play this?
I played this for 87 minutes, it says.
And
so a little less, about an hour and a half.
Does it talk about the world and like what happened and what's going on? And
not really.
Not really?
I kind of like that.
And yeah, I'm kind of into it. It's like I don't need to know like why I'm tiny, why like everything else is so big. I'm like an ant person, like an ant-sized person, and yeah. People are saying it does later, maybe. I'm fine if it never. I would be fine if it never did. Like just let it stand on its own, which I think is fine to do with a game like this because the story kind of I felt like a sailor, like on the open sea, and I had to like figure out how to keep my boat floating and that kind of stuff. And it felt like adventurous. It was great.
Is there a fail state? Like, can you die?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. So what happens?
That's why they put the hooks on that. That's why they put the hooks on it so you can drag it if you need to.
Oh, okay. So if you don't put the fire outs or whatever, then you're stuck with the hooks.
The funny thing is, I never let the fires burn, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
You
can
die.
Reveal
okay.
all the stories of the game.
Okay.
Go let the fires burn.
Yeah, I guess you can die. Okay. But I never it didn't seem like it was. It's not the gameplay, or excuse me, the draw isn't anything to do with difficulty. It's more like puzzle solving. How do I figure this out and how to get over this? There's an obstacle in my way. How do I get this obstacle to out of my way by pulling this and going over here, doing this and attaching this, and then the elevator will bring you up and then the door will open. There's that kind of stuff as well.
I gotcha. Cool.
The game is called Far Lone Sails. It is on sale right now for $11.99. It's normally $14.99. Is it worth $12? Absolutely. If you like Machinarium.
A lot of people in chat were saying it's like a 2 to 3 hour game. So is it worth it even then?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'd say.
Check it out.
Cool.
Let me move along to the next one. Oh, this looks like it's going to be a winner. What is this?
Oh my God. This one is not what I thought it was going to be. This one's called 303 Squadron Battle of Britain.
Oh God. Okay.
And I thought it was going to be a lot different, but this game takes place the Royal Air Force Base. But what country are you from?
Britain.
You're in the Royal Air Force, but you are conscripted by. You're Polish. There you go. You are Polish pilots in the Royal Air Force, and it is. The dialogue in it is it's a translated dialogue, and it's very funny to listen to because sometimes it's weird to hear The words are sometimes misplaced or spoken with a heavy, thick accent and stuff like that. It's supposed to be a flying game.
Oh.
And the flying it might be too realistic because it's fucking hard. Like, and it's not like when you play an arcade, like flying style arcade game, you have a lot more like control. Like this is very much like you have to turn like you're a real plane and stuff like that. And if you miss your target, they go shooting way fucking past you, and you have to bank your plane to try and go get them or do a loop the loop and stuff like that. And it's frustrating at times. I mean, it's a kind of a mad game. I'll be honest with you. I didn't really get into it. It seems like a game that came out 10 years ago.
Ouch. Okay.
But I mean, it's an indie game, so like you do the best of what you can. It's still in early access. It's $19.99 on Steam right now.
Ooh, pricey.
But like it's got mostly positive reviews. Like I can't. I mean, there's nothing specifically wrong with the game. It's just, I guess I'm not a big flying simulator kind of guy anyway. And
Sure.
This seems like I mean, look at the controls. It's like you got your yaw, your pitch, your throttle, your engine. Like you can stall out the engine and stuff. It's too realistic for me.
Which, to be honest, for I think flight sim fans, is rather simplistic. So this might be like if you've been interested in flight sims before, but maybe they've been too much, this might be a game for you. Potentially. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's if you want to check it out, it's 303 Squadron Battle of Britain.
All right.
Wasn't for me. I'll just say that.
Yeah, you didn't play this very long. You jumped.
No, I played it for about half an hour.
Yeah, you jumped right ahead to this one. Whoa.
Now this game was pretty cool.
This looks like that cooking game, art style wise, where you fought the demons at Battle Chef or whatever. What the fuck is this, Zeke?
Like Battle Chef Brigade? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, this game is called Forgotten Anne. Hold on a second. Fucking Steam is being a real shit right now.
Okay.
I can't like click in anything. There we go. This game is called Forgotten Anne. It came out May 15th of this year. It says, step into a hand-animated realm of wonder in which everyday objects take on a life of their own. Uncover the Forgotlings' mysteries and harness magical forces as you embark upon a quest to return home. It's it reminds me of a Miyazaki film. Like it kind of has.
That's bold. But I
know. It's esque, like Miyazaki-esque,
okay.
Where I mean the animation, the art style, but also like the fantastical nature of it, like lamps and plants and everything like has a life force, and you can take their life force and use it on other stuff to open doors and all this kind of stuff. It's a great game. I just wish I could like describe it. There's platforming elements to it. The story is really like, it's a really fantastical, like, and it takes place in like, I want to say 20s, 30s, something like that. It has that kind of a feel to it. But it's pretty story heavy. It's kind of like, I mean, it's like playing a Studio Ghibli or a Ghibli movie. It's $14.99 on Steam. And it has been a couple of weeks since I played it, so I'm forgetting like the basic story of it.
Sure.
But it's beautiful. The lighting and the animation are just gorgeous. The voice acting is really good.
Well, that's kind of a weird graphic, like walking into the background like that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. How much was this? I have
this game is $14.99. It's on sale right now for $14.99. It's usually $20. It's great, dude. If you like the idea of playing a watered down Miyazaki Studio Ghibli film, then it's a great game.
Someone's asking to hear some of the music, so we'll see if we can. Hold on. It does seem very Studio Ghibli music-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we hearing it? Or are they hearing it?
They're hearing it, yeah.
Okay.
I can pump it to you guys if you like, but
Okay.
but now you're talking. Zeke, come on, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very atmospheric. It's good stuff.
Yeah. All right. That's Forgotten Anne. Spelled correctly, by the way. Assholes.
Yeah,
That's how it's
A-N-N-E. No, if it's A-N-N, it'll be on to me forever because of Persona.
It's Forgotten with an O instead of an N. Or instead of an E, sorry. It's spelled off.
Oh. Forgotten?
Yeah.
Okay.
You all right there? Am I blowing your mind? What's happening? Great.
Was that the last one? That might have been the last one.
Yes, it was. That indeed was the last one.
Okay. That's it. That's all I got for Indie Sunday then.
So are we caught up? Are we?
Yep.
Okay. Are you doing another one this Sunday?
Yep.
Okay. We'll talk about that next week. Let's talk a little Fortnite. Or not Fortnite. What the fuck? Let's talk a little Warframe. Why did I have Fortnite on the brain? I haven't even looked. There's nothing on my screen that's been Fortnite. Why did I say that?
It's because anybody who asks about Twitch is like, "Oh, do you play Fortnite?"
Maybe. Gee, I'm like trying to figure out my brain and why I just made that connection.
For the last 2 months, anybody who sees me wearing my Twitch hoodie say, "Oh, you stream on Twitch? You play Fortnite?"
Yeah, it does happen. It does happen. I guess I'm just gonna become a Fortnite streamer after this. I guess it's Fortnite 24/7 for me. Let's talk a little Warframe, Jesus, because we've played it a lot, and we've played it in lieu of doing a Drop Frames, but we haven't talked about it on Drop Frames since like the first week, since before Zeke was even playing it. The day that we last talked about it was the day that Zeke downloaded and played it. And I think, without spoiling anything, me and Ko can give a thumbs up or thumbs down. Ko's, I think, done with the story up till now, I guess, what's released. I've done the first, quote, big quest. I think Zeke's on his way there. He's been doing a bunch of grinding, catching up, taking his time with it, I would say.
I'm doing planet clearing.
Right.
Like, I try and save... Yeah, I try and save, like story elements for when I actually broadcast it. Like, I will clear around the planet until I come to a point where it's like in the quest. It's like one of those chunks of main story. Like I did the first, what a dream. What's it called?
The second dream.
I guess I did the first dream.
Yeah, I think you did the one before Natah.
Quest.
Oh, you did Natah?
Or before, you haven't done Natah yet, have you, Zeke?
Stolen Dream. That's what I got.
Stolen Dream. There it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did
The
Stolen
precursor
Dream.
to Natah.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
But other than that, I'm just like going around and clearing up like the blue diamonds. When you go to the planet, boom, 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 they remind you that shit's still left undone.
Sure.
So I think I've cleared like up to Saturn, or which one comes first, Jupiter or Saturn?
Jupiter, I think.
Okay, so I'm up to Jupiter. So I've done like Mars, Venus, Earth, Phobos, Ceres.
Yeah.
Ceres.
Yeah.
And I just cleared the path to Jupiter.
Okay.
And you're making some serious progress, dude.
Yeah. He's been playing
47
a lot,
hours, it looks like, on Warframe.
I think Zeke has more hours played in that than I do. I'm at 46, so you're close. I haven't been playing it much. I did the second Dream Quest on stream last, I guess, was it Thursday? I guess it was Thursday. And I think, without spoiling anything, I'm not going to talk about the actual story elements. I think what I'll say is The Warframe community is a very passionate community, much like other gaming communities on Twitch. And with that passion, I think a lot of it is created from the idea that they played a lot of Warframe before quests like the Second Dream existed. So when the Second Dream came out and it wasn't hyped by the game company, it just was put out. They didn't say what it was. They didn't talk about it. It blew everyone's mind within that community. Now, as someone who started Warframe 2 weeks ago, did not have the same effect on me. And I think that's kind of across the board for newer players. It's not going to have the same effect on people. And I think that if I could say anything to the community, it would be don't hype that stuff up, because it's a different experience. In general, everyone's going to have different experiences with everything in life. But especially in a game like Warframe, newer people will not have the same reaction, for the most part, to what occurs in that mission, because we didn't have hundreds of hours played in a game without real story stuff in it, for the most part.
Well, it's like someone who has been playing WoW since the beginning, and then someone just jumps into it, and then they're like, so, Burning Crusade, right? It was the fucking best ever, right? And you're just like,
It was all right.
It was all right.
Yeah.
Like, what? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That was the best thing they ever did. Are you joking?
Right. So my experience with it, that being said, the actual quest mechanically were pretty bad. I didn't necessarily have the most fun, mechanically speaking, in a lot of those quests. Story-wise, was cool. I enjoyed what happened. I'm eager to see more. But I didn't have the mind-blowing moment of euphoria that I think a lot of people wanted me to have. And I got really angry that they got angry at me for not having that. And when I say really angry, like, I'm actually getting unbelievably angry again thinking about what happened. Because, man, it was not fun.
I'm going to stop it right here. What JP is talking about right now is one of the worst feelings you can have as a Twitch streamer.
It's really annoying. Yeah.
Hundreds to thousands of people telling you how you should feel, and then you don't feel that way. I've been in that position too. And what that can do is turn a potentially good experience into a bad experience. It taints that good being in the punch bowl.
Here's an example.
So
Co's going to play Kingdom Hearts probably because people are going to be assholes and donate to it this weekend. I'm not expecting anything from Co. And if he doesn't like it, great. He tried it. Cool. I'm not going to be upset. Try to react that way to stuff on Twitch. Don't get so angry that you go and discuss in other streamers' chat for up to 7+ hours. I'm sorry, Zeke, about what occurred on my stream. Because that's really one of the more annoying things, too, is when that discussion branches out to your friends' streams and it just becomes a whole thing there.
That was fucking hilarious because they brought it over to my channel because you rage quit.
I did. I legitimately rage quit.
Like, saltily.
Yeah, I legitimately said, fuck this, I'm out. I think pretty much word for word.
I received multiple whispers, multiple Twitter PMs, direct messages, and all just being like, even one guy going as far as saying, hey, if you have JP's number, you should probably give him a call.
There was definitely anger there.
Friends with him, right? You may want to check on him.
Yeah.
I literally responded. I was like, trust me, he's fine. Trust me.
It was a rage that I don't quite get to, or I haven't quite gotten to in a long time, for sure. It was, the chat it was crazy. I have not experienced rage like that before. Zeke, I think I told Zeke, I texted him after, it was like, hey, sorry about your chat. I was sitting there reading it for multiple hours, but I couldn't comment because then it would just incite more conversation. And I was like, go watch the end of my stream. And you did, and you texted back like, holy fuck, you were actually upset. I was like, yeah.
It's one of those moments like one of those rare times where you feel like that chill run up the back of your spine, and that's your instinct saying, we're gonna fight something now. It's like your body going like, here's some endorphins, time to punch it out.
Right. Where the only thing I call it I've always referred to it as seeing red. It's whenever I see red is when I can't see anything and I'm just blinded by rage. So
yeah.
with all that
and
said,
that's the thing, like,
I enjoyed it.
As someone who gets pegged as someone who rages a lot, like, yeah, I rage a lot, but true anger is very, very rare and very, very seldom.
Yeah.
And like when I'm throwing shit and breaking shit, yeah, that's very surface rage. But when someone cuts or something cuts you to the core, totally different feeling.
Yeah.
Also, for all the Warframe community that was saying stuff while JP was saying his opinion on that, I want to point out, even what JP just said, even with all that negativity and one of the worst things that can happen to a streamer, he still said, I still kind of liked it.
Yeah, I mean the quest
alone should tell you something about it.
The story was cool, but it like I said towards the end of that cast with less curse words and reaction shit for me, I didn't lose my goddamn mind over it. And I'm curious, Code, like for you, I would say someone that that's an unfair statement. Someone that could potentially lose their fucking mind over story stuff. Did you like freak out over it?
Okay. So I'll start at the beginning. Now, first of all, before I say anything, it is important to mention that I am not only more excitable, enthusiastic about story-related things,
yes,
but also they are kind of my preference in the gaming world. And let me tell you why it blew me away as much as it did. And it kind of started with Nata, and then it was Second Dream, and then it was War Within, and then it was Sacrifice, and then it was Chains of Horror, and then it was Octavius Quest. And what these things did, and it really, I could see it forming with Nata, and then Second Dream really drove it home to me. These are sides of Warframe I didn't know existed. I was not aware that the game was going to make me feel the way that these quests did. I did not expect to get the kind of explosive realizations. Now, in terms of Second Dream, I completely agree with JP about the first half to 75% of Second Dream. The quests were annoying, especially when you first meet with those sentinels that are like starting to block your damage type and you have no idea what's going on and you're confused. The first half...
Careful. Just want to say careful. I haven't got there yet.
Okay, thank you.
And don't worry. Story elements wise.
You'll see. The first part of the quest is, even for me, and I was doing my damnedest to follow along with it, it was very confusing. They were throwing a lot at you to the point where I felt like I either missed major things or I just didn't understand what was going on. And for the first like big part of the quest, I was just kind of like, I feel like I should know more than I do, or that I missed something. Like it wasn't a very comfortable feeling. And then not to spoil it, but as the quest moves into the end, not only does that kind of come together, but then the reason why everyone asks you if you've played Second Dream yet comes to light. And that to me was just kind of like that was definitely a holy shit, what the hell's going on moment for me, which completely opened up kind of like I said in the tweet that I put up afterwards. I don't feel like you've tried Warframe until you've finished the Second Dream. Like I feel like that's kind of like the moment that I feel that people can actually say like, okay, I've tried Warframe, and then you can decide if you like it or not. Like the thing that with me is I played Warframe for an hour or 2 years ago. Not only did it not grab me, I left thinking it was a pretty weird and honestly not very impressive game, and I didn't ever see myself returning to it. And for years, as people in my community will tell you, anytime someone would mention Warframe, I would just be like, yeah, I tried that. I saw what was there. I'm not interested. I've seen people play it. I know it's a super quick shoot 'em up, orcs must die kind of game. I'm not interested. Second Dream showed me that this game is miles deeper than I thought it was. And not only that, but it's not even my favorite quest in the game. In fact, there are multiple quests I have done since then that have, in my opinion, almost topped that feeling. So, I mean, I was getting pretty sold on Warframe by the time I got there, but now to the point where I am now, like I am like I'm a Warframe player now. I can
Sure.
I see where people are coming from. I understand why they do it. You know, I was farming Nidus off stream. I play multiple hours offline a night. Like it all kind of clicked to me after Second Dream. And then even as it kind of went into that, and there's still like some major things I haven't done yet. I haven't even started the end game. Like I don't even have any high level frames yet. I can't even do level 80 stuff. And I'm still just hugely enjoying it. So for me, I got to agree with JP that the people building up and constantly asking me if I'd done it and constantly telling me how good it was. I feel like I was super impressed by it.
Yeah.
I feel like I would have been even more impressed by it if I had not had all of that buildup. But that being said, like it is a very cool thing to see a game like Warframe able to properly convey what Second Dream does. And then as you move on, what the other quests do as well. Not only does it bode well for what's there and what you can already do, but I cannot wait to see what these guys are going to come up with moving forward, like over the next years, just to see like the type of stuff they're going to put in the game. And then once you do Chains of Horror, like that Chains of Horror to me was standout. Like that was one of the.
Is that another quest in the game?
Yeah, it's a later quest in the game, and I want to hype it up or anything, but I'm just saying it's unique. It's fun and unique. And then there's other quests like that later too, where it's just kind of like you get done with it and you're like, I expected to have that in this game. Like I didn't expect to feel this way. Like it's kind of wild. So
yeah,
not like in a huge hype. Oh my god, this is amazing kind of way. Just kind of like, you know, hey, I just thought about that and that was really cool kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, I'm loving it. Like I'm sad that I missed as long as I did, but at the same time, I feel similar to my Path of Exile experience, to where I am really glad I let the game get to a point where I could spend 100 hours into it, and those were 100 quality, awesome hours. I'm almost pretty glad I didn't like it for all those years, so it could develop up to the point where it is now. It is a beautiful time to start Warframe. Like there's a thorough tutorial. There's a fantastic community. There's well-defined and excellent quests in there. There's a huge ceiling for people that want to put the time in. It's relatively bug-free. It's a beautiful game. The movement system has been nailed down and ironed out. I mean, it's a really, really good time to try this game. And if you've tried this game like a year to plus year ago, you need to give it another try.
I would agree. Yeah.
Because it's free to play. There's just no reason not to.
Yep.
I was wondering, like, what do you account for the new resurgence of it? Is it just because like it just was infectious? Like one streamer started playing it,
you mean
and then
on
it
Twitch?
just like, kind of snowballed? Yeah.
Well, the Plains of Eidolon stuff was pretty big. That's when they introduced the open world mechanics, and that was months ago, but it was still relatively recent. And then they had the Sacrifice update. That was kind of the big one. The Sacrifice was one of the cinematic quests that they had. It's a fantastic one. And that was just put in a little bit ago. And also in that time, they put in the Twitch integration. The partner program has been fleshed out. Like there's been a couple singular events, but it's mostly just that they've really been focusing on not only the Twitch side of it, but also just kind of developing the stuff that people tend to be liking in the game.
Yeah.
Especially more lately than anything. And then we have TennoCon in 4 days, and there's some hopefully major announcements going on there. So yeah, just a lot going on right now, and it's kind of dead on Twitch with other games. So it's a great time to start playing it.
I think that has a lot to do with it. It is kind of dead on Twitch in terms of other games. The reason that I played it initially was because during Drop Frames E3 coverage, they had I forget which community member from Warframe, but they were in the PC gaming show, I think is where they popped up, and they showed maybe the Sacrifice trailer. I forgot what trailer they showed. Anyways, it was there.
Megan?
Oh, it was Megan? Okay. Yeah,
Megan's awesome.
Megan was there, did an interview with Sean or the other co-host whose name I forget. And Anne was on... Frankie, yeah. Anne was on Drop Frames at that point with Baru, and they both spoke highly of it. And for Anne to speak highly of a game, we have pretty similar taste in it. So it's like, I don't really have anything to play. I kind of finished Path of Exile, quote, finished it today. Let's check it out. And that's when I jumped in. And I think like me speaking pretty highly of it kind of pushed Ko over the edge, who was kind of thinking about it. And then we got you into it.
I had been wanting to try it for months, and that was pretty much the straw. Like I'd been like, when people would start talking about Warframe, I'd be like, please stop talking about it. I don't have time for it.
Right.
Like I would be
right.
I don't want to try it because I don't want to get it. But then finally, like when you started doing it, I was like, all right, like that's the last I have.
And the other thing is like there's no game right now that I'm like super invested in multiplayer wise. And this kind of filled that slot multiplayer wise. I will say though, and maybe I had this conversation with Zeke before Court of Swords or something recently. I feel like I've talked about it before. I'm at the point right now in the game in terms of playing offline that I actually can't, because I got rushed ahead so much in the story and in the planets that my mods do not reflect where I'm at planet wise. And I jump into those missions and just don't have a good time at all. So I think the next stream, probably later today, after kind of WarFrames is done with it, I think I'm going to buy a bunch of mods or trade a bunch of mods with players so that I can actually like do that stuff and not feel like a really bad player.
Like, I farm that endo too.
Yeah, exactly. I jump into those missions. Like I tried to do, is it Neptune? Is that where the War Within is, is after the second dream? Yeah, I was trying to do some Neptune stuff, and I think like I jumped into a mission. I think when you're doing that stuff, you can't level frames like I've been doing a lot. You can't level other guns because I just got completely fucking slaughtered. Like within seconds, it was the first time I've ever like failed a mission and used all 4 lives. And so I'm at the point where I need to like pick a frame, pick a weapon, pick a side weapon, pick a fucking melee thing, and put actual mods into that stuff, and like use that as a frame.
Do you have the slots unlocked yet? The loadouts?
Yes? Question mark. I'm not. What do you mean specifically?
Yeah, and actually, I think you already nailed it. But it's not really a spoiler. But
doesn't everybody get like 2 or 3 of those?
I think so. I know. At some point, I think there was a quest that kind of hints at them, like, "Hey, you can use these now," but you may get them at the beginning. But all I gotta say is JP, you are absolutely right. Like, don't feel bad about that. Even with all of my farming. Okay, good. Yeah, because I was gonna say,
yeah, this is what I need to do to like have fun in the game again for sure.
Yeah, because like I have specific loadouts for high level missions, and if I try to bring any leveling stuff on that, you just get destroyed. Even if you have good mods, you'll still just get destroyed. Yeah. And then also, like, I didn't understand how the MR stuff worked, where your MR level is how much default power you get at the beginning, and your frames have to level past that before they start getting power. So your higher your MR, actually, the better your frames are at the beginning. And then when you start polarizing and making sure that stuff lines up, like you can make starting frames a little bit more bearable, but it's still
what MR are you right now?
10. I'm almost 11.
Okay, because when I started the second dream, I just hit 9, and I haven't played since then. So I need to jump into that stuff. Have you been forming a lot of stuff weapon-wise? Are you just using new weapons, or how are you like pushing that grind?
I have a couple prime frames. I have like a farming loadout now and an Umber Excalibur that's a main, and then like a few. I picked like a main in each category. So like I have like a Galantine that I've formed a few times. I did a Heck form a few times, but then I found a new shotgun that has an airburst alternate that is now my new baby.
Okay.
I have like a Necros Prime that I've formed. My Frost Prime I've formed a few times. Just like basically I kind of get the mods as powerful as I can. And then when I find myself hitting a wall, I head to Saturn, do a couple defense missions to get that stuff maxed again, and then just kind of go from there. But formatting, especially later, when you start loading up with like the 15 plus cost mods, can really, really help. And you start getting crazy powerful stuff when you can start fitting like multiple maxed out gold mods on weapons and stuff like that.
That's probably where I'm at.
I haven't even touched formatting yet. Like,
I haven't either. I have not formatted a single thing.
You don't need to till later. Like you don't. Yeah, it's not. You don't need to format anything until you find yourself maxing your frames, essentially. And that doesn't come until you have like max level mods, you have multiple max level lines of mods and stuff like that. That's the only time it's important.
The thing what's honestly important to me, like what I find like I really want is I want as many frames as possible.
That's where
like
I'm
I don't
at.
want like
Yeah.
good frame. I want all of them.
Right.
Like so I'm like looking up like where to farm these guys and what bosses I needed to do over and over again to get these frames and stuff like that. Like and then I get it to 30 and I'm like, all right, what's my new frame? What's the next thing? And then I keep looking and I'm like, fuck. God damn it. I'm at 30 with all of my frames, and this one's going to take 23 hours. I buy it. I buy the speed up. I didn't buy the frame parts.
You rush
I didn't buy any frame parts or blueprint. Or
Yeah,
the
he rushes it, not bought it.
Yeah.
But I rushed the build.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which I think
I rushed
happens
the
a lot.
build.
Yeah.
No, I farmed the frames, but rushed the build because I'm impatient.
Yep.
Dude, I do that on almost everything. That's what I spend my platinum on is rushing. I don't buy any weapons. I don't buy frames, but I rush pretty much everything I need.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got this frame slots and weapon slots and rush build rushing. Those are the only 3 things I've spent endo on.
Yep. Makes sense.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I think we can all say that like we're still enjoying our time with it. Right now, I'm definitely at that point. Like I was saying, I need to invest some time to actually making my
platinum. Yeah, not endo, platinum. Sorry.
Right. I need to invest some time to actually like figure out which frames I like and which frames I want to like quote main and all that stuff. So we'll
JP, I probably got a lot of dupe mods I could give you too. If you wanna let me know like what kind of gun and stuff you want to focus on and weapon, I could probably just give you like 5 or 6 pretty
okay. I'll let you know that's definitely one thing where I'm like, I haven't like fallen in love with a gun yet, which I think a lot of people say is something that will eventually happen. I just haven't yet. Like the Piranha Prime pistol is like,
I was just gonna say
it's pretty good, and it feels really good when you start like getting the double gun shit whenever that procs after a couple kills. But like main weapon wise, I've been using a sniper rifle, and that feels a little bit off, so I'm not into that stuff. Like, I don't know. I got to figure out what gun feels good to me. And I don't even know like what type of gun.
It is so nice.
Is that the shotgun?
Steroids. Yeah, it's basically a heck. It's a heck that is a single rapid load, but then its alternate fire is a distance restricted air burst. So it basically fires off like this little explosive air grenade that then goes off and hits everyone for like 9 to 15,000. It's
nice.
Crazy fun. Nice. And then what's even cooler, you can get like a Hell's Chamber, and that gets over 100% multi-shot. So then every single shot you take with it is essentially a double or even a small chance of triple. And it's ridiculous how powerful that becomes.
Huh.
It's great. It's so nice. I actually just formed that thing so I can fit more mods on it.
I was thinking about it just now. I think like the equivalent of a bolter but better is probably like my preferred main gun. There's also there's a bolter, then there's a gun that has like a giant mag on it that kind of like curves at the bottom. I forgot what that one's called. So I got to figure out. Oh yeah, it's called Soma. Soma's that one. I enjoyed both of those.
Tell me about that all the time. You have that?
Yeah, but I have like the normal basic bitch Soma type deal. There might be a better one.
Basic bitch.
It's probably like the Zoma Prime or the Soma Prime or some shit. I'm sure there is.
There definitely is. In fact, that from what I understand, the Soma Prime is like significantly better.
Yeah.
How do you get the Soma Prime? Is that a relic farm right now?
I mean, I'll probably just get some plat and just buy the thing. Like that's honestly where I'm at. Like,
it's bolted. Actually, so you have to do that.
Yeah.
You actually have to do what you just said.
If I don't get a gun soon that I'm like super into, I can definitely see myself like slipping away from Warframe, and I don't want to. So I'll probably try to trade for a Soma Prime.
I just one thing though, I gotta say, there's like 60 plus weapons, so definitely look around, and some of them are super unique.
Yeah, I know.
So
I know that too. Yeah.
I did index like 3 times in a row to get millions of credits, and then just went to the store and bought like probably 30 plus weapon blueprints.
Right.
And I've been kind of working through crafting and playing with those, and oh my god, man, some of the guns are just completely unique in how they act and function. And then of course you have the unique mods for many of them on top of that. So it gets crazy. There's 400 plus guns.
Right, but there's probably like only maybe 60 that are good. I think Ko was apt in what he said there. There's probably only a handful of those. Yeah.
Another thing, Jay, is a lot of really good guns unlock at MR10. In fact, that weapon I was just talking about is an MR10 gun.
All right.
So you'll be getting a good amount of new guns when you hit MR10.
Cool. Yeah, I'll probably just farm. I did find Volt. I'm actually really enjoying, but a lot of people are saying that Volt's not used in the end game. They're only really used to like clear stuff quickly, not necessarily to like kill stuff quickly. Yeah, which kind of bums me out because I really like. I think I just like going fast.
Lies.
Yeah,
Lies.
I mean,
that is going crazy, saying that's fake news and lies.
Yeah, but Chad's is bipolar is whoever's bipolar.
Well,
I don't know.
I think
what they don't understand
used for
is
speed a lot. If you're not using the speed though, then it's kind of like it's kind of just. And correct me if I'm wrong there, guys. But yeah, I mean, depends on the build people are saying. Oh, even that is saying no, people are wrong. Okay, there you go. Well, damn.
No, what these fucking assholes didn't hear you say is, I've heard.
Right.
I've heard this.
Not I am declaring.
That is true.
Yeah,
that's not a lie. He heard that. That is
I'm
true.
pretty sure I heard the tapping of him
that
putting
lie.
that to the stone behind him.
Yes.
Just right there.
I do
This is
keep
opinion.
a stone of factual comments on my
Right
wall.
there.
It's one of the things we installed when we first got into the house. Yeah.
The wall of
you weren't saying JP was lying. You were saying the person who told you, the people who told you were lying.
Yeah.
My bad. I apologize. I'm man enough to admit when I'm wrong, brother. Listen up, brother. I'm man enough to admit when I'm wrong, and I'm a man enough to admit when I'm bald.
Yeah.
Listen up. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to jump to conclusions, brother.
It's fine. They'll get over it. So that's Warframe. I think we'll probably end up playing a little bit of it today. Just a couple more things. Twitch Prime is kind of going crazy this month with Prime Day coming up. You can get 21 free games or something like that. This might sound like an advertisement, but there's 21 free games. It's less. Don't sub to this channel, Twitch Prime. Go sub to another channel. That's not what I'm looking for. Ko's good. Zeke's good. There's a bunch of other ones. I just thought that was kind of an interesting way to go about doing that type of stuff. I'm trying. Let me read some of the names here. We've got. Pillars of Eternity is one of them, and that ends today.
No less. Yeah. That was a great one.
That ends today. You can get for free. Tacoma is there. There's a calendar on when those games are available for free throughout the month that I think Twitch has been tweeting out.
And then super cool. You get the games permanently. Like you can sign up for Twitch Prime for this month, get all the they confirmed this. You can sign up for Twitch Prime for 1 month, which is like what, $8 or $10.
Something
get
like that.
all those games for free, and then turn off your Prime sub, and you just get to keep them forever. So that's kind of awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And then
I'm sorry. What were we talking about? We were like, you can get like free games from Twitch Prime.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And for anyone, I see some people asking about this. Just click the little crown in the top right of the Twitch, and that's how you get to all that free stuff.
Yeah. Yep. There also should be an overlay, I think, on like an extension on this channel specifically to see if
how much did they say we were going to get out of that if every time we mention it?
$3,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Don't forget Twitch Prime, free games.
Make sure to
free
check
games. Twitch Prime.
Twitch Prime.
You know what I Twitch Prime? I really like Twitch Prime for Twitch priming.
Nice.
I like Twitch priming while I Twitch Prime.
I feel like being John Malkovich when he jumps in himself. Malkovich.
Oh. I need to watch that movie again.
Twitch Prime. I'm Twitch.
I need to check that out. Was there any other Twitch news? I don't really think there was recently. I'm just scanning the blog real quick. This has no news based or anything, but have you guys seen the Hearthstone extension that you can use? What was that code?
Somebody just suggested they need to name a Warframe Twitch, and then there would be a Twitch Prime.
Well, there you go. There you go. Have you seen that Hearthstone extension though? You guys, I was watching Day 9 yesterday, and there's an extension for Hearthstone when you are watching a Hearthstone game to where you can actually hover over the cards in the video player and it pops up the card as if you were playing Hearthstone. And I was blown away by that. I did not know that was a thing. It's kind of fucking crazy. But apparently that's like super old.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's like Blizzard made or what, but that's...
Does it do that with OCR?
I have no idea. I have no idea how that's doing it. It's really cool. I didn't know. I don't watch much Hearthstone. I was watching Sean Day 9 yesterday for like 5 seconds, and there was like a little gray outline on his video player. It's like, what the fuck is that? And scrolled over, and it started popping up all those cards. We need some more extensions like that. Some developers need to make that shit for a bunch of different games.
We need a Path of Exile extension for Warframe. So people can just click a button and see the exact mods I have, my full loadout, all the mods on all the guns. Like that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anyone knows how to do that, that'd be great.
That'd be a tough one, dude.
Yeah. Well, you say that, but they did it for PoE.
They did. Yeah. It slots into your account.
I don't see, and especially with, I mean, the Warframe guys are super plugged into the Twitch community. I mean, their partner program is one of the best I've ever seen. If they're not,
that's something I wanted to mention.
What's up?
Something I wanted to mention that was really cool about the guys at Digital Extremes, right?
Mm-hmm.
They saw me doing that little. I did a cast as my pimp character because I had Limbo Prime and I made them all pink, and we were playing it bubblegum.
Sure.
Remember? Yeah. And the very next day I did a broadcast, and I did a mission, and they sent me, like, I got on the mission and I saw a message. I was like, what the fuck? And I looked at the message, and it was from those guys at Digital Streams, and they were like, hey, we're watching your stream, man. We think your fucking guy is hilarious. Like, it's the Pimptastic is great, and all this kind of stuff. And they sent me fireworks to use, like just a one-time use, like, finale fireworks display because they were watching, like, my broadcast. They just reached out, and they were really cool.
Yeah, those guys are really cool. It's always awesome when I think.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
When game developers interact with Twitch streamers, it's even more awesome when game developers interact with us as Twitch streamers and are that, I don't want to say organic because that kind of destroys the whole sentence, but when they actually like watch your content and they actually like say meaningful things about your content and then say like, hey, here's something that you can try in your cast. They don't ask you to sign an NDA. There's no fucking contracts or anything. Hey, here's this thing. We enjoyed your stream. Have a good time. Like, it's very rare that happens, but when it does, I think it makes a pretty big impact for us as streamers, for sure. And DE's doing a great job with that across the board. Like, also, those guys have reached out a lot to me as well. They're super cool.
Huge shout out to them for staying super true to not only the requirements for the partner program, but making it really have value. Like, they have given their partner program value. People ask me all the time, are you a Warframe partner co? And I say, no, I've only been playing this game 3 weeks. And they're like, what do you mean you've only been playing it 3 weeks? Well, the partner program, you got to play the game for a month plus and then apply. I'll be applying after TennoCon, basically, and hopefully I'll get it. And it's kind of like most companies would just be like, oh, you're playing our game? Okay, well, let us give you everything. And here, you're connected and you're a partner. And here, we'll give it to you before. But these guys are like, no, you gotta show us you're serious about this. It doesn't matter how big you are. It doesn't matter how many follows you have. Yeah, there's Warframe partners out there with less than 10,000 followers. Doesn't matter. They put the time in and you haven't. So get to it. And if you're serious about it, talk to us in a month or so. Yeah. And it's kind of like, and that you can't do anything but respect that. I mean, that's awesome.
I agree.
When people were telling me about the partner program, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna like contact them right now because I got an email from them with some stuff that I could give away or whatever and keep. And I was gonna email them, and I stopped in the middle of the email and I went, I'm not even gonna ask. I'm gonna go through the proper channels. And that like spoke volumes about like the respect that I had for like the community. Like, you know what? These guys are really cool. Let's go through. And then I went to look at the application process, and I didn't fill it out because it said like, do you produce Warframe content on a weekly basis? And I was like, I can't honestly say that. So
that was definitely the first thing that I want to say, like the first day that I started Warframe, that Sunday, whenever it was, I went to that and I saw it and I literally just like clicked through all of it, blah, 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 hit submit. And then like 4 or 5 days later, I sent them emails that, hey, I sent this thing. I've only been playing for a week. Don't just disregard the disregard the application and let me wait a bit to see if I'm actually going to play this, et cetera, et cetera. Because I feel like that means something, and it's not just like being handed out, which is, I think, ultimately what you two are saying. So it's cool. I agree. Trying to see if there's any news before we wrap. There was a fun quote from Todd Howard in terms of Fallout 76. The quote was that there is no crossplay because, quote, Sony is not as helpful as everyone would like. So that was a pretty fun
You only had
statement.
to say one word. Because Sony.
Yeah. Man, I wonder if that
Fortnite debacle.
I really wonder like how much pressure Sony is going to have to get before they cave or before they don't do anything. Like it's crazy to me that like Todd Howard's out there saying shit like that and Sony's like, anyways. Like, that's insane to me that that's still a thing. What else?
Did you see the comparison of Todd to the old Pokemon card, the Pokemon trainer card, right?
No, what was that?
I think if you just look up, what's his name? Todd
Howard?
Todd Howard, Pokemon trainer. Like, look at the card. It looks just like him.
Hold on.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Todd Snap.
Right?
Yeah, that looks exactly like him. Just if you're wanting to find this, just Google Todd Howard Pokemon trainer. It's the first image. You can look for it yourself. That is pretty funny.
And now I want to see somebody take an episode of Pokemon and put actual Todd Howard talking about Fallout 76. Like whenever the guy starts talking.
Jesus.
Yeah, we want a more immersive multiplayer experience where players can come in and out of this.
Can you just show that on screen for people who are on mobile?
No, actually, I'm not going to do it. I was going to do it, but I don't want to show Google Images search on the stream. I'm sorry. Just Google, open up it after stream or something like that.
Wow, okay.
Hey, Zeke, just a heads up from chat in case you didn't see this. I'm guessing this is for your bubble gum. Please tell Zeke there's a candy cane skin for the hate scythe. I think it was a Christmas event skin, so I'm not sure it's still attainable. But just saying, bubblegum walking around with a giant candy cane?
Well, yeah, the hate scythe.
The hate scythe, it looks like.
Okay, I haven't even seen it. I'll have to go look for it.
Yeah. I haven't seen that. We didn't talk about it at all, but SGDQ is over. They raised $2.1 million for Doctors Without Borders. Any of you guys watch any SGDQ?
Oh, cool.
Oh, it's any scythe.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
I watched the Kingdom Hearts speedrun because that was fun to see someone do what I did, and I think it was like 4 hours or some shit like that, and also a little infuriating as well. But I didn't really catch too much. I guess I caught the toss bot stuff too as well. I try not to miss that. It's usually always fun.
I love you call it toss.
Yeah. Is it? Oh, the task bot? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I mispronounced it.
No, it's because it sounds like you're saying toss pot, which is like an English colloquialism.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Did you guys what runs did you guys catch, if any, for SGDQ?
I watched a lot of the last Final Fantasy VI run.
I did. Yep.
I watched the I saw the Getting Over It like 2-minute run or whatever, however long it took.
Oh God, I didn't know that was there.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Celeste. I watched Celeste. I watched the Tazbot. I say Taz. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
But
I mispronounced it. As well.
What else did the Tazbot do? He did they did Celeste. They did Metroid,
and then F-Zero GX or whatever, which is kind of weird. That one was kind of meh. But then they got it to work with like.
Pepsi Man. That was a good one.
They were playing. They're playing GameCube through like a Game Boy Advance or some shit over Bluetooth. That was kind of crazy that they like hacked it that way. But yeah, it was another SGDQ. They're always fun to watch. They're always good to just throw on after you finish at least in my streamers, always good to just throw on after you finish broadcasting to just kind of chill the fuck out and watch someone play a game real well.
Oh yeah. It was I throw it on all the time. Like that's takes the place of anything else that I'm watching. It's just immediately AGDQ, and I host it like most days I got done broadcasting, I was hosting it because that's like I usually host what I want to watch after I'm done.
Right.
So
right. It's always a good time. Some more Fallout 76 stuff. I didn't hear this. This was 2 days ago.
Do you guys have any opinions? I'm sorry. I want to go back to no, I want to go back to didn't want to move on from that subject yet. That's why I interrupted you.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Do you guys have any thoughts about the chat at all? Do you even care about it? Because it's sub only chat now in the SGDQ or GDQs.
No, I mean I think it. I don't know. I think that's a can of worms that I don't really care about in terms of drama, but I could see why people would be upset about that. But at the end of the day, they're probably upset because they can't be assholes anymore in chat, and so they're going to be assholes about not being able to be assholes in chat. So, like, go. I think the perfect way to handle that is go to Trihex's chat, go to the poverty chat that he hosts every time, and that usually works out pretty well. But yeah, I don't. Yeah. I don't. It doesn't bother. The reason I'm watching is not to interact in chat. It's to watch the stream, right? But I could see if people were super into memeing along as the stream happened, etc. Then yeah, they could do that stuff, or they can't do that stuff anymore, and I could see why that would be infuriating. I don't know if you guys have thoughts on it.
The embarrassing part about Twitch is when there's thousands of people in one place and they think that it's okay to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So the more that they can do to prevent that, I think the better. But it's definitely like a people are smart or person is smart, people are dumb kind of situation where I feel sometimes like people go into stuff like that and they see everyone else being racist and sexist and complete just embarrassments to humanity. And then they go, oh, these people are doing it, so I can do it too. And it's like, it just devolves into just disgustingness. Again, it's the worst part of Twitch is those chats by far.
Yeah.
So I think, dude, sub mode, great. I mean, it solved the problem.
Right. It's not like they're pocketing that money, right? It's still going
exactly.
to charity.
It's all going to charity anyway.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are my thoughts.
No, I couldn't agree more. I think it's a great idea, and I think it was a bad mark on an otherwise like wonderful thing that people are doing, like gamers coming together to raise money, and then but don't look at the chat because you will wonder how these people are even like why are these people raising money when it's all just terrible commenters.
Sure.
The whole way through.
Yeah. I don't know. It's definitely. I think when you get to the size that GDQ is, you have to start introducing things that's going to alienate a portion of your audience just by how big you are. I think that's across the board. Anything of that size, anywhere, is going to alienate some portion of their viewership, some portion of their audience, just by existing. So they had to make a hard stance, and they did. And I think they're doing okay still. Like 2 million raised is nothing to be ashamed about at all. So
2 million raised for charity with an exponentially better chat. Like that's a no-brainer, man.
Yeah,
a no-brainer.
I do want to say,
actually being like able to chat with someone in that particular chat room was nice.
Yeah. I also want to state this out because I think this gets thrown around way too much, and it's not a slight. I'm not making a slight at Ko. I'm making a slight at viewers that think this is comparable. Someone said Ko is the perfect example of a huge chat being nice and behaving well. Ko has, on a good day, correct me if I'm wrong, 15, 20,000 viewers. GDQ has 100,000 plus. So there's a little difference there. That's a little hard to moderate.
I also have
and also there's no guiding force.
Well,
right.
Dude, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole reason my chat is the way it is because I have a mod team that's not only been working with, in some cases, me 5 years.
Sure,
but I mean, these guys are incentivized to sit there. They know exactly what I'm looking for in chat. Right, they know exactly what the community does. Like it's my chat is the way my chat is because of a lot of fighting upstream. Sure. Like especially the first early years of us trying to get this stuff done. Like my channel suffered at times because of how much we were taking people out of it. So yeah, it's not easy.
Oh yeah. Anyways, so yeah, that happened. SGDQ happened. And we'll see what happens in the next ones. I do kind of wonder though if they need to like change something up because like I guess one day how many games are there in the world that exist that they can continue making that event like crazy and crazier? But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
That's the beauty of speedrunning, is because there may always be the same games, or there may always be the same games, but there's always a better time.
I guess that's true.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
one of the cool things about, like, if it was just playthroughs, I'm with you too. But as long as they keep one up in each other every year, there's going to be a lot of survivability. In
That's
it,
true.
hopefully.
Yeah.
And we do see new games. Like, wasn't there I'm not 100% sure. Didn't they do like a Prey run this year and some other stuff?
They did
like
they did like Super Mario Odyssey, so they're starting to bring in a lot of new games.
They're bringing in new games as they can. So I'm sure they'll keep it interesting.
For sure. Is there anything else?
You were gonna bring something up before I interrupted you.
Oh yeah, what was I gonna bring up? Jumping back to Fallout 76, it came out that it's going to have fast travel and that players under level 5 cannot die in PvP. So we're starting to get like some specific stuff out there about Fallout 76, and that fandom is starting to pick it the fuck apart, as they do. So I guess we'll see how that turns out. Are you still optimistic about it, Co, or are you just kind of like, well, we'll see how it goes?
The thing is I feel more and more like Fallout 76 is going to be it's going to be a sandbox. So if you can go in with your own goals and have a good time with it, like I'm planning on doing, I'm sure it's going to be a great game. I'm playing it for the map exploration. I'm playing it for the main story arc that goes to all 6 regions. I'm playing it for the side quest. As long as people can't ruin my experience, I don't really care about that other stuff.
Sure.
I don't like the level 5 limit, the PvP, all that kind of stuff. Again, as long as they give me tools to where those people can't ruin my game, I honestly couldn't care less. It's not while I'm really playing it. I'm almost treating it like a single player game that has multiplayer elements. So I'm going to have a great time with it because I'm going to play it the way I want to play it. And everyone else.
Well,
There we go.
There you go.
I will say, that being said, I have some serious concerns about what I just did. Like the fact that you can see everyone on the map and fast travel to them. Like, what's going to stop people from finding out what server I'm on if that's possible, and then following me around and doing dumb emotes? Or maybe there's going to be a group of 3 people that are going to follow around, and every time I go somewhere, they're going to run in front of me and clear it all out and trigger all the events and do it. Like, there's a lot of potential for griefing, and I'm really hoping the beta is going to get that stuff worked out, because I haven't been more glad for a beta in a long time, because I'm hoping that it's going to really expose the issues that come from this. And also, I hate to say it, I like Todd Howard. He doesn't have a lot of experience with what he's doing now. This is a new world for him.
And they've been out there saying that as well. Like, he's been out there saying that we're figuring this out.
Exactly. And that's even more scary. It's like they're not bringing in people that know what they're doing. And they're just like, yeah, we'll just try this and I'm sure it'll work out, right? No one actually greases each other in games, right? Like, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, we'll see. With how the Fallout community is in terms of like a fandom, I could see Fallout 76 if it has certain elements in it not going over that well, and I could see a lot of like backlash from the internets on that stuff. So I hope they know what they're doing, and I'm curious to see how that, because I'll be judging that shit from afar. I will not jump into that shit storm most likely. It could
and also for the record, to address this in chat, yes, there are some MMO vets that are working on Fallout 76, but as they say multiple times in the Fallout 76 documentary from NoClip, which is fantastic, by the way.
Should watch it.
They're doing what Todd wants. And in some cases, like, against what they want to do. Like the world map thing, the guy even says in the documentary, hey, I think it's crazy, but Todd's all about wanting to let everyone see where they are on the map. And it's kind of like, yay.
Oh,
all right.
We'll see. Yeah,
we'll see.
I don't have
Again, I'm really there's going to be thousands and thousands and thousands of people playing the beta.
Millions.
So it's
potential.
Yeah, it's gonna be the kind of situation where if they don't nail things down after that beta, that's entirely on them, man. Because they're gonna have all the data they need after that. Trust me, there will be griefing. Every possible way to grief will be done in that beta. Yep. So they're gonna have it all right in front of them. I hope they're gonna have the time and know how to take it out. We'll see.
Yep. And the worst part about it, at least for streamers, is that most of that griefing will start on Twitch. So we'll see how it all goes down for sure. Anything else you guys want to discuss, or should we just let you guys do some shout outs and jump into some Warframe. I think Zeke might have already jumped into some Warframe. If I can read his glasses.
No.
If I can see those glasses.
I wouldn't do that. I'm not like that. I'm not that kind of guy.
I think if I look into those
Zeke,
glasses.
what frame are you in right now?
What are you trying to say, brother?
Oh, God.
You trying to accuse me
God.
of cheating,
Zeke.
brother?
Zeke.
You know I don't cheat.
He's doing the thing where he grows
You know I
again.
don't cheat, brother. I'll tell you what.
I don't understand how he does it.
Listen, man. Listen. You don't say I cheat, brother. I don't do it. I'll eat your fucking head.
All right. Let's do some shout outs.
Jesus, that ego.
Yeah, it's something. It's something. Let's do some shout outs to get out here and we'll jump into some Warframe for the next 45. Zeke or Zolkster, or however you refer to yourself, please.
I'm the Zolkomania.
Okay, dude.
This is the Zolkomania running wild on you.
I'm sorry. Some shout outs, sir. Please.
What's up, everybody? Well, happy 4th of July. America is the best country in the entire known United States. That's right, brother. I said it. Now listen up. My name is Ezekiel III. You can find me on Twitter and YouTube. All Ezekiel_II. I'll be playing some Grim Fandango tomorrow at noon Pacific. And that's right. With these 24-inch pythons. That's all I got.
All right, that's all he's got.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm sick of it already. I'm 4 days of this. I'm just.
Go do some shout outs, sir.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Ko. Thank you, as always, for watching today. Big shout out to Zeke and JP as well. It's always a blast. You can find me streaming every single day at 8 a.m. EDT. We're just I didn't get to talk about this at all today. We're just wrapping up Yakuza Kiwami. We're going to be doing some final stuff in that. But tomorrow morning, we're actually going to be taking an early look at the new Kingdom Come Deliverance DLC, which apparently has some building and stuff in it. So kind of excited to check that out. And then this weekend, not only do we have some Warframe stuff coming up, we're also going to be watching TennoCon live together at 6 p.m. on Saturday. But also from 8 to 12 on Saturday, we're doing a special charity stream with Guardian Con, raising money for St. Jude. Would love to see you guys there. Not only are we going to have donation incentives to play some crazy games like Doki Doki Literature Club and Barbie's Dream House, but you can also, when you donate, pick to vote yes or no on me doing a full playthrough of Kingdom Hearts 1. So if you are at all interested in me not playing it or playing it, stop by on Saturday. We'll be hosting it. It'll be on the Guardian Con channel for St. Jude, and very much hope to see you guys there.
Now, some questions as the Kingdom Hearts expert here on what does a full playthrough entail? Is that 100%? Is that story complete? Where are you like
It is getting the meat of Kingdom. It is experiencing Kingdom Hearts. And if it does end up being a yes vote, JP, I will probably talk to you in figuring out what that means, because I need the spoiler-free roadmap-ish.
Because
I have no idea how it works.
There's a fight at the very end of the game that's optional, but some would say that it's Sephiroth. No, this is not Sephiroth. It's questionably harder. That some would say it is canon, and it is story. Well, we'll see. I didn't fight it in my playthrough. I'll say that much, because it's a pain in the ass. Yeah,
okay.
There's a lot of extra shit in Kingdom Hearts 1. Post game stuff is kind of fucking crazy. So, yeah.
Cool.
Anyways, when does that happen? Can one person donate multiple times?
I don't know exactly how we're using the Guardian Con system Tiltify, and as far as I know, when you go to the donate page, there's like a regular donate button, which just donates, and then there's like 2 polls. One's a yes and one's a no. Okay. So you just click on that, and then you donate money towards that amount, and then whichever one has the most amount for or against, then we'll do that at the end. As a quick note, if the no wins, so if I don't play Kingdom Hearts, we're gonna have something special with that too. So you're either voting for yes, play Kingdom Hearts, or no, something else happen.
Okay. So. All right. Is that, you said 8 to 12, that's a.m.? Saturday
8
morning?
to 12 a.m. on Saturday. 8 a.m. EDT to 12 p.m. EDT on Saturday.
Yeah, what that Guardian Con stuff, are you the first day of that? Because that's coming up next week,
I'm not sure exactly where I line up in. I think I'm kind of in the middle on the AM slot, because Gathalion has been streaming lately, and he's been saying for the last couple days, like 2 days to Guardian Con, 1 day to Guardian Con. So I think it may actually start tomorrow.
Okay.
And then go through the weekend. I'm one of many casters doing
Yeah.
this. I'm just like a little 4-hour block in front of a 72 plus. It's a long time.
There's a lot.
So,
Zeke,
yeah,
are
it's
you
gonna
doing
be
Guardian Con this year? I know you did it some last year.
No,
I
I'm
thought.
not doing it this year.
Okay, all right. I know they had a shit ton of streamers on there, like Co was just saying. I think Ninja's like the last stream of that too.
Yeah.
So
Ninja is the very last stream this year. If people are interested, the Twitter account is at GuardianCon, and they have a full schedule with all of the casters. I think it's pinned at the top. Yeah, it's pinned at the top. So
nice.
we've got people: Eddie Monster, Snackles, Golden Boy, Noah, Geek Shake, King Ithalian, Real Crafty, Anthony Kongpan, Bajira, Analyst, Cream, Sequisha, King Richard, Elohim, Dakotas, Tim the Tapman, Professor Broman Ninja, Dr. Lupo, Burke Black, Blessedius, Dado, Lucky and Buttwipe, Gassy Mexicans on there, T-Rex, the official Warframe people are apparently doing something. Dramakins, the official Destiny people are doing something. iFlynn, lot of people on here.
Nice. Yeah, a lot of Fortnite streamers, it sounds like.
Mhm.
Cool.
A lot of Fortnite streamers.
Cool.
A lot of Destiny streamers. A lot of Warframe streamers. A lot of streamers. Just
Yeah. I did see, and then we'll end the show. I saw that Guardian Con got featured in, I think, the in-game Destiny 2 like coming up thing, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
I'm glad that
they
that
finally
happened.
bit and they did it, which is awesome
Yeah.
for them. That was a long road for Guardian Con, and there was a time when Bungie was telling them like, we are not associating with you, and you cannot use our name.
Yeah.
So this is a huge reversal on that. Now they're on the official launcher. So
Yeah.
persistence, man, it pays.
Wasn't it called Destiny Con or has it always been Guardian Con? Didn't they rename it?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I can't remember if it had a different name. Anyways,
I think they did a long time ago. Anyway.
yeah, it doesn't matter. Watch it this weekend. Go support more charity stuff. We're done with Drop Frames, but I think the three of us are going to jump into some Warframe. So if you want to watch that, I think we'll be booting up each of our own channels in the next couple of minutes and hopping in some Discord and running around in Warframe. So if you want to watch that, that's where we'll be. Thanks everyone so much for watching Drop Frames. We'll be back potentially, probably, hopefully next week with more. Every Wednesday, 1 o'clock Eastern. We're out. Bye-bye.